Y'all little boxing in,
like a little squabbling, a little fight, but like it's never like too big of a deal where it's like, oh, I'm gonna end his life for this one thing, and then you go think about like,
I got a family, bro.
Like I end his own life because of a dice game, or because he pushed me, or because he stepped on my shoe. Like it's not, it shouldn't be that big of a deal.
It's I feel like it's childish.
It's very childish, man.
Did y'all hear about Designer? I saw the video.
Yeah, and people were making fun of him for crying over his mans, bro.
I'm like, you can't just get mad at somebody from, like, that's their brother. Like, they're gonna be upset. So I'm telling you, social media, like, it's toxic. Yeah. It's toxic. And I really feel bad for him because he's probably getting mad backlash when he's really just trying to mourn and, like, figure his life out right now because that was when I tell you I woke up and I saw the news and I was mad confused because that came out of nowhere. I was like, damn.
I was in class. I was sitting in class when that happened. I was sitting in class. I looked like literally, the person in front of me was on Twitter on the computer, and I see that picture, and I was like, "Oh, what's that?" Like I'm like, like I because I'm not even gonna bring up the video, but they had that whole video on Twitter. They should have had it on Twitter, to be honest. But he's seen it, and I'm like, bro, what the hell? Like, what's going on? Then the person next to me on Instagram talking about Sam taking like the death off, and I'm like, bro, what? Like I'm in class. I'm like, what's going on?
But with that being said, do you think violence in the rap community will tone down? Because over a dice game, altercations is very crazy.
Honestly, I feel like the violence in the rap game is just all a part of basically like toxic masculinity as well. Like just having that image that you want to just be tough. You know what I'm saying? But in my opinion, I don't think it will ever tone down because it's just like that's what they know, that's where they from. But again, rest in power to a legend. And now, on this week's upcoming events, I don't know if you want to tell them about it, Cash.
Well, everyone, so me and Just had the chance to attend the Oz Media Summit, and it had some great panelists and talked about underrepresentation in sports media. Guys, what do you think about it?
Honestly, I honestly didn't see the panel. I didn't get a chance to go, but just like knowing like about sports media and stuff, I see some pictures and stuff. I was like, yo, like it was crazy. It's good to see like people involved, especially in like this school. It's like good to see like the involvement. So I was like, all right, I supported it for real.
All right. Well, look, I love the media summit, and they did talk about some very good points. And shout out my boy Ade Ellis. But now that I've covered that, I want y'all to make sure to pop out to Skate for Victim, run by my Org 2.5 and SAPB. And, I hope y'all guys are looking forward to it. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I hope you had fun watching. But make sure you tune in every other Wednesday at 9:30 p.m. on WTOP10.com or WTOP10 on YouTube or Twitch.
Also, make sure you guys follow our Instagram at Perspective.
Welcome to WTOP 10 Nightly News. I'm your Storm Team 10 meteorologist, Evan Bedron. Well, the sun was shining today here in Oswego. People were taking full advantage of the nice weather we had today, and we can't expect to see all this nice weather roll in throughout the weekend. But as we head into next week, we can see temperatures start to drop all the way into the upper 40s and low 50s. More for you coming up on my full forecast. WTOP 10 Nightly News starts now.
This year's first admitted Students' Day is tomorrow. What to expect?
And we're just one day away from Hot One Sean Evans' appearance on campus, how you can still get tickets.
Plus, an Oswego native wins big on Jeopardy! Who she is and how much she won.
It's Thursday, April 13. This is WTOP 10 Nightly News.
Good evening and welcome to WTOP 10 Nightly News. I'm Ryan Skinner.
And I'm Rosia Trasancos.
SUNY Oswego's first admitted Students' Day of the year is tomorrow. From 10 a.m. to 4:30 p.m., admitted prospective students have been invited to campus to go on tours, watch information programs, meet with faculty, and attend student and parent panels. The students will be arriving by car, bus, train, and plane to attend the programs.
About 450 visitors are expected to be on campus on Friday, and 800 are expected on Saturday. Current students should expect heavier traffic than usual in the Marana Campus Center and Cooper Dining Hall areas. Tomorrow day marks the first of 3 this semester. The others are going to be held on Saturday, April 15 and on the 22nd. The Sunnywide Action protest, which was supposed to take place during Admitted Students' Day tomorrow, is still off on the Oswego campus. In an email to protest supporters, organizer Tyler Johnson encouraged others who are capable to lead the protest, as he will be leaving campus to continue his education online. We reached out to a professor involved in the protest to see if anyone has stepped up to lead. She said that she has not heard of anyone, but hopes someone will step up. WTOP will continue to investigate this story, and we will keep you updated when we learn more.
Members of the campus community and general public are invited to celebrate National Arbor Day at SUNY Oswego's Rice Creek Field Station. This year's celebration will be on April 28th with invited talks from 1 to 2:30 and a free tree giveaway from 2:30 to 5. Interested participants can experience this event in person or join via Zoom.
Oswego County legislators have been discussing projects to be funded by the American Rescue Plan Act. Last week, HarborFest resolution failed as a result of missing attendance of other legislators. Mary Schatt, a Minero Democrat legislator who voted against HarborFest funding, said she believes the money should be focused on job retention and, quote, durable long-term projects that enhance the county. The committee needs the majority of its 7 members to approve resolutions. This week, the name of HarborFest will be absent.
Oswego County native Rachel Clark won big on the game show Jeopardy! Clark, who graduated from Oswego High School, won $6,500 in her first episode and $1,000 for coming in third place in her second episode. Clark credits looking at books in her school library and, of course, her family for the success she has had on this show. Let's get spicy, an interview with Sean Evans from Hot Ones. Jason Shee from Juan Zones Calzones and Hot Wings is scheduled for tomorrow night. Sean Evans, host of the YouTube talk show Hot Ones, interviews celebrities while eating progressively spicier chicken wings. Evans has worked with a range of celebrities from Kevin Hart to Gordon Ramsay to Scarlett Johansson. Oswego's own Jason Shee from Juan Zones Calzones will be Evans' next interviewee.
A lot of kids are excited, and I'm happy for the people that are excited about seeing me eat some hot chicken wings.
The event will take place in the Deborah Stanley Arena and Convocation Hall. Doors will open at 6 and the show will start at 7. Free tickets can be served at the SUNY Oswego box office. Seats are limited.
The deadline to file a federal and New York State tax return is April 18. Taxpayers who are not able to meet the deadline can request an extension, which is automatic and it extends till October 15. However, this extension does not cover any money taxpayers may owe. John Marshall from the Bonadio Group says taxpayers who choose to file an extension are expected to estimate their tax liability. He added that the IRS will assess a penalty if taxpayers with extensions do not pay their balance due.
Governor Hochul is announcing grants that support nearly 250 new public charging stations to 70 municipalities in the next 5 years. New York State plans to build more than 1,300 charging stations. This is one more initiative to help the state achieve the ambitious greenhouse gas emission reduction requirements under the Climate Leadership and Community Protection Act.
Governor Hochul is also announcing a $21 million grant that will be given to the New York State Thruway Authority. This grant will serve as part of the Bridge Investment Program to support the restoration of the Castleton-on-Hudson Bridge. Katie Hochul thanked the President Biden for his continued support of New York.
While the temperatures continue to rise, the Oswego Fire Department is getting patrols of Oswego Harbor back out on the water this week. Oswego Fire Department Chief Conzone said that the Marine 1 unit is being upgraded this year with updated GPS mapping devices along with a new thermal imaging camera to help them navigate the waters at night.
And today was the hottest April 13 in Syracuse history as it got up to 86 degrees, breaking the previous record by 1 degree, which was in 1945. Syracuse could break the record for tomorrow as well, with the previous record being 83 degrees and the forecast is set to 87.
Evan Bedron joins us outside the studio now with a quick look at the weather.
Evan, is the warm weather here to stay?
Yes, the warm weather is here to stay. Right now, we do have some light winds but that is no threat to us at all because we did have that warm weather that we had experienced earlier today. We do have a light wind again, as I said, so maybe if you go outside, you might feel a little chilly. So if you're really cold, maybe pack a light jacket as you head out the door. The stars are shining though, and the trees are starting to bud. So make sure to take advantage of this amazing weekend we can see ahead of us. I'll have more for you coming up, my full forecast. But first, back to you guys.
Thanks, Evan. Coming up, the FBI arrested a Massachusetts Air National Guardsman in connection to leaking federal information.
And crews in Florida are working to clear roads and are assessing damages with more rain expected to hit the area. We will have more after the break.
Jill told me it was Kitty from Glee. Yeah, what is it?
Al Roker.
We're here for you, we're here for you. This is your channel too. With sports and news and what to do, we're here for you. It's your TV, you're watching WTOP. Your TV, thanks for watching WTOP.
What's going on?
Yeah, we go on at like 11:30. It's like
No.
What do you mean no?
It's 10:30.
10:30?
Yeah, it's 10:30.
What do you mean it's 10:30?
Hey, don't touch that. That's my ladder.
Hey, man.
Whoa. You know this book was already discounted 10%?
Wow.
Wow.
Get a close-up of that one.
Matthew, news.
Look at that.
Can we go back inside? I want to sleep in the studio again.
With 6 to 10 day outlook, we can see temperatures start to return to about normal here in Oswego. I know we do have those warm days ahead of us over the weekend, but we can see temperatures start to dip into the upper 40s and low 50s as we head through mid next week due to some rains that will be sticking around our area. And looking at our almanac, we can see our high temperature today was 73 degrees, our low is 51. The average for around this time of year is about 52 degrees, so we are about maybe 20 to 21 degrees above average. And for our record, we can see our record was 85 degrees back in 1945. And here in Oswego, we only had a temperature of about 73 degrees, so not as quite near record as we did see in Syracuse earlier today, but still pretty warm here in Oswego. And looking at our out the door forecast for tomorrow morning, we can see a high temperature of about 69 degrees around 3 to 5 p.m. But as you head into the early morning hours, we can see temperatures in the upper 50s and low 60s. So as you head out the door, you may notice it's a bit warmer than usual as you head out to class and work tomorrow. But make sure you do fire up those grills as you head into the weekend, though, because you can see on Friday, sunny skies with a high of about near 70 degrees. We can expect that feels like temperature to be a little higher, though, so maybe even 75 degrees as you head out to go fire up your grill for this weekend. And looking at today's air quality, we can see there's a moderate air quality risk for most people who have health conditions. So if you have a breathing condition or heart condition, there is not much to be worried about, but we can make sure you take some precautions as you head out the door. And looking at our 7-day forecast, we can see on Friday, 70 degrees, sunny skies. And I know you head into Saturday and Sunday, we can see clouds start to move into our area. Those temperatures sticking around the low 70s, maybe just a little bit higher. We do have the threat of rain moving to the area. So as you head later into your weekend, maybe you want to change some weekend plans around towards the nighttime hours. And as you head through most of next week, we can see temperatures start to dip into the upper 40s and low 50s with clouds sticking around the area and more rain showers. sticking around our area as well. And after historic rains paralyzed Florida for hours, crews are still working to clear roads and residents are assessing damage. With more rain expected to hit the area this evening, Gloria Pazmino has more.
Historic flooding in South Florida Wednesday.
What we're seeing here is a 1,000-year incident. No city could have planned for this.
The city of Fort Lauderdale paralyzed.
It's absolutely heartbreaking. I mean, you can see how shooken up I am, you know. I didn't plan on waking up like this.
I've been working in Fort Lauderdale for over 23 years and I've never seen anything like this.
Residents taking in the damage after spending the night stranded in their homes.
Yeah, we lost everything.
More than 25 inches of rain fell in just 24 hours, according to preliminary reports from the National Weather Service, marking the rainiest day in Fort Lauderdale history.
All right, I'm gonna go back and get your mommy and daddy, all right, bud?
First responders out in force, wading through waist-high water to help trapped residents and motorists.
I've been stuck here now for about 40 minutes. So I've been watching the cars thinking I could make it, but I've had the car stall in water before, and so I'm just like, I'll just hang out.
At Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport, a ground stop Wednesday, then closure. Stranded travelers trying to navigate as runways turned into lakes.
Trying to get back home, and they're telling us that the airport is closed, and so at this point we don't know what to do.
The airport will remain closed through Thursday. Officials plan to reopen it at 5 a.m. Friday. The National Weather Service is calling the floods a 1 in a 1,000-year event or greater, and more rain is expected later today. I'm Gloria Pasmino reporting.
Cleanup and rescue efforts are currently underway in Fort Lauderdale, but we can only expect more flooding to occur in these coastal regions, partially due to climate change and partially due to just the magnitude of these storms so early in the spring season as the oceans begin to warm up again. Guys?
Thank you, Evan. President Biden says he wants more government workers to return back to the office instead of working from home. New Biden administration guidance makes clear that departments and agencies must, quote, substantially increase in office work without any specific requirements, end quote. The plan to return the workforce to a more regular in-person attendance comes as the government plans to end the public health emergency on May 11th.
U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland announced today that 21-year-old Massachusetts Air National Guardsman Jack Teixeira has been taken into custody by federal agents. Teixeira was arrested in Massachusetts without incident and will be arraigned in federal court. He's accused of unauthorized removal, retention, and transmission of classified national defense information. The arrest comes after the U.S. government searched for the identity of the leaker who posted information. The investigation is ongoing, and the Attorney General declined to answer questions.
State Minority Leader Mitch McConnell is expected to return to work on Monday. The Kentucky Republican made an announcement on Twitter today. McConnell has been recovering from a fall at a dinner last month in Washington, D.C. McConnell was treated for a concussion and rib fracture before being released to an inpatient rehabilitation facility for physical therapy. Earlier this week, McConnell became the longest-serving party leader in Senate history.
Still to come, a restrictive abortion bill has passed the Florida House. What could happen if Governor DeSantis signs the law?
But first, thinking about returning an item to Amazon? You may be paying more than before. All that and more when we come back.
Say, President Stanley, whenever there's bad weather, who would you turn to?
I'd turn to Storm Team 10.
No, but you've got to say it like this. Storm Team 10. Say it with me. Storm Team 10.
Roll it.
Jill told me it was Kitty from Glee. Yeah, what is it?
Al Roker.
Welcome back to WTOP 10 Nightly News. It's time for your consumer report. The cost of groceries is coming back down. The Bureau of Labor Statistics says that grocery prices fell in March, the first time since September 2020. The data shows prices dropped for eggs, poultry, and fish, as well as fruits and vegetables. However, prices for bakery items, cereals, and non-alcoholic drinks became more expensive. Although this month-to-month drop is a sigh of relief, prices are still more expensive on an annual comparison. Amazon is taking new measures to crack down on customers returning their online orders. This includes charging a fee to return items to UPS stores. Amazon will start charging customers a $1 fee if they return items to a UPS store when there is a Whole Foods, Amazon Fresh, or a Kohl's closer to their delivery address. Amazon is also flagging frequently returned items on its website, hoping customers will pause before buying the item. That's all for me. Now let's send it back to Rocio for your health update.
Thank you, Ryan. The CDC is reporting that nearly 90% of recent Mpox-related deaths in the U.S. occur in Black men. The CDC says that more than 30,000 people were diagnosed with Mpox in the last 10 months. The disease, formerly known as monkeypox, has been linked to 38 deaths. 33 of them were Black men. Nearly all were immunocompromised. Florida could also soon have one of the more restrictive abortion laws in the country after the Florida House approves the Heartbeat Protection Act earlier today. The bill that would ban most of abortion procedures after 6 weeks of pregnancy is now headed to Governor Ron DeSantis' desk. If the bill is signed, it still could delay becoming active due to a possible lawsuit from the Florida Supreme Court. The new legislation will allow women who are victims of rape, incest, or human trafficking to get an abortion up to 15 weeks. Coming up next, Luke Ratty has the latest about sports news. Hey Luke, what's gotten into the Tampa Bay race?
Hey guys, stay tuned for all the latest sports news, including a career milestone for Sheila Wiley and a night to remember for Islanders fans. All that and more after the break.
Hey there, I'm Al Roker, class of 76. Yes, way back in 76. Back when the earth was cooling. You're watching WTOP.
The Kinda Late Show with Chloe and Anna. Like licorice, Twizzlers, absolutely nasty. The thought of turkey is just nauseating. I think you're wrong, is what I think. You think I'm wrong a lot of time. I do think you're wrong a lot.
When you look at the number of disasters in the U.S., chances are every area will deal with some kind of emergency in the next decade. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Put the keys down, Kevin. But I'm gonna drive home. There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
I guess I have really been looking for love in this dating app. Yep, I'm definitely gonna call a ride home.
Welcome back to WTOP 10. I'm Luke Ratty, here with your nightly sports news. The Oswego Lakers baseball team continues to find ways to win, reaching their 7th straight victory after a highly contested matchup against the Rochester Yellow Jackets. Jelani Hamer was the story in this game, driving in 6 runs for Oswego. Thomas Pachia pitched 3 innings of work, giving up 2 earned runs, and the bullpen was able to lend a hand the rest of the way. Sean Clifford shut the door on the Yellow Jackets in the 9th to earn the save, and the Lakers' record improves to 12-11 thanks to their 12-10 win. For the Oswego women's lacrosse team, it was a milestone night for Selah Wiley, as the senior would score her 100th goal in a 9-7 victory against the Brockport Golden Eagles. From the first face-off, Wiley was in control, scoring an impressive 4 goals in the contest. Wiley also assisted on the game-winning goal, which was scored by Julia Quirk in the second quarter. Isabella Lembo would add a pair of goals as well, as the Lakers would earn an impressive win to improve to 9-3 on the season. Are you braving the shave at the St. Baldrick's Day event this weekend? Well, if you are not, maybe you could donate money to the event, which is being hosted by the Oswego men's lacrosse team. They are about to reach a special milestone for a special cause. Jolie Santiago reports.
The 17th annual St. Baldrick's Day in Oswego is this Sunday. This year is a little different because the Oswego men's lacrosse team has almost raised $1 million for St. Baldrick's Foundation. I sat down with Dan Whitmer, Lakers Community Service Coordinator, to tell me more about how he got here.
I was the head lacrosse coach here in 2007, and one of my alumni emailed me and said, Coach, there's this great organization. He'd been involved with it for a couple of years already, and he said, you should have the lacrosse team do this. We had about 30 guys on the team register as shavees, and we raised $11,000, and I thought that was, incredibly successful. By year 2 or 3, we started to get the community involved. And next thing you know, we had elementary school kids out of Oswego minor hockey. It just snowballed. It got bigger and bigger.
Fast forward to now, the 2023 men's lacrosse team is just days away from potentially reaching $1 million. I had a chance to talk to the team's fundraising captain, Garrett Petrelli, who is a 3rd-year shavee.
This is my 2nd year being the fundraising captain. Last year I was a fundraising captain and I raised over $300, and then this year I was a fundraising captain again this year and I raised over $1,000. Very excited and happy to be a part of this collective group that has almost raised $1 million. It's going towards a great cause to help children who are in need with childhood cancer. So it's just great to be a part of that organization that's almost hit $1 million, because not many people have done something like that, so it's just great to be a part of that.
Along with Garrett, others keep coming back in support of the cause, like committee member Suzanne Cook, who has been helping coordinate this event for 6 years now.
It's a great cause, and the fact that it helps fund research for children's cancer, that makes a huge difference.
Over 16 years, we've raised $927,000, which puts us $73,000 short of $1 million.
So if you're interested in supporting the cause, come on down this weekend to support the hard work that has gone into this. The event will be on April 16th, 2023, from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. at Curtis Manor. Bring your friends, and you might just see the 1 million mark be achieved. I'm Jolie Santiago, WTOP 10 News.
What a great cause. Thank you, Jolie, for that report. In pro sports news, the Tampa Bay Rays have been on an absolute tear to start the 2023 season. The Rays have won all 13 of their games so far and have now tied the all-time record for most consecutive wins to start a season. The Rays have dealt with injuries and deficits, but still are finding new ways to win every night. They'll try for the all-time record on Friday when they travel to Rogers Center to play the Toronto Blue Jays. It took all 82 games, but Islanders fans can finally breathe a sigh of relief. New York was able to earn 2 crucial points in their victory against the Montreal Canadiens. which helped them earn the final playoff spot in the Eastern Conference. Brock Nelson led the way for the Islanders, picking up 2 goals in the contest. Ilya Sorokin would make 17 saves as New York would win this game 4-2. The NHL playoffs are all set, and only one team can take home the Stanley Cup. We'll be back with more WTOP 10 Nightly News right after the break. Shoot. I thought he said pause. I thought you were saying pause, and I was like, why am I pausing?
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Shine on that black. Look at the bling. Look at the, do we got a diamond tester on? Yeah, that's getting bad. Yep. 10 out of 10 recommend on Yelp.
We're going to the playoffs. I can't believe I missed that. Every time I'm buzzed, I spend too much time on my phone. What? I should take your phone away. No. I'll call for a ride. Hey, why does my face look like that? I'm playing with these new face filters. Okay, you know what? Yep, that's mine. I'm gonna need that back. No. Kevin!
Welcome back to WTOP 10, our final story of the night, Pet of the Week.
Looking for a strong silent cat? Meet Elora.
Elora is incredibly independent, but will still love to find a place to call home.
She is 2 years old, spayed, and vaccinated.
For more information, you can contact the Oswego County Humane Society. All right, everybody, that's our report. That's our report for tonight. Be sure to stay tuned.
Well, welcome back to Off the Clock.
Hey
guys. Okay, sorry. He was just yelling in my ear.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. It was really good. How was yours? Yeah, you might have noticed we were gone. We all had spring break and then another week off, but your favorite girls are back, not a worry.
Oh yeah. The all-girls show here.
We're here.
All the girls in the back are here too, after a good spring break.
Ladies. Someone take the bump cam, or not the bump cam, the back cam. Is that an option? Nope.
Nope. All right, that's okay. Cool. All right, let's keep going. Let's go.
Alrighty. Oh, there we are.
Oh, there they are.
Lovely ladies.
Yes.
Hello.
Everyone had a great spring break back there?
Yes, they did.
Yes.
Okay. Getting some thumbs up. That's what we love to see.
All right. It's time.
Well, we're going to jump right into it. We're going to do the most important part of the show, the fit check. As always, I'm first. See if
Of course.
Get up without dropping the mic.
Believe in you.
Thank you. Okay, so starting at the top, earrings. Oh, okay. Earrings.
I said no.
From my mom. Dress I got from TJ Maxx. Everyone was asking about it. I do admit I love this one. And
It
shoes,
is very pretty.
I think DSW, maybe? They're a little old, but
I love
this
the
is
outfit
the fit.
today.
Thank you. I'm very proud of this one.
I know,
feel
it's
like
very pretty.
You need to have an excuse to dress up every once in a while.
Yes.
You want to go next?
You can go. I feel like we have an order now.
Oh gosh, so this is my fit. Pants are from,
Like, I feel like
the vision of the show that we had, it was really executed to the way that and it really happened out of nowhere. Like kind of out of nowhere, it was like unintentional, but it really worked out exactly how it was supposed to.
If you guys were to hear the original
concept of the bigger picture.
It was all over, actually.
Yeah, we had the original idea was like we were gonna take anonymous letters from like students on campus and then like answer it from a student's perspective.
Like give advice.
Or give advice, yeah, like a basically like a ask. What's it called? The ask.
Ask FM, but it's like we were trying to give advice. I'm like, right now I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm kind of winging it.
Mind you, we were first year students. How are we gonna give advice when we just got here?
That's a great point. But this is why it is what it is today. We kind of overcome that. But before we even get into tonight's episode, let's talk about some upcoming events that you should attend if you have some time, of course, in the upcoming weeks.
So, of course, if you haven't heard already, the Latino Student Union and the Kumi chapter of Mu Sigma Upsilon Sorority Incorporated are hosting a charity kickball event on April 23rd. 10 days left. Let's go. So, this event will be taking place in the Lee Hall baseball field. All the proceeds that we make from this event will be donated to the Roses Foundation, which has worked to raise funds to provide scholarship assistance for migrant students and provide emergency assistance for farm workers and their family here in the Oswego community. So support for a good cause.
Right, we'll be there. So, do you guys remember that episode with Image, the Big Steppers? So, Image is Stomp the Oz. Step Showcase is slowly approaching. Join the Image Step team on April 28th at 6:30 p.m. in Marano Campus Center Arena for a fun night of stepping and more. Great entertainment, y'all. Tickets are now live on SUNY Oswego's box office, so make sure to grab yours.
Shout out to my people. If you're looking to partake in a community service before the semester ends, the Kumi chapter of Mu Sigma Upsilon Sorority Incorporated and Alpha Phi Omega, as they will be collecting donations to collect essential items for a women's shelter in Queens, New York. This will be going on until May 7th, and the donation box is located outside the point. So anything you have to give away, please help them out and do so.
Yes. And lastly, save the date for April 21st as 2.5 presents their 14th annual Raise Your Voice Teal Around the World. So 2.5 is looking for students interested in acting or being a part of their annual Raise Your Voice show by acting in some real-world scenes on sexual assault across the world. If interested, please email them at 2.5@oswego.edu or send them a direct message on their social media. This is a really great event. I remember last year, so I'm really excited about this year too. I actually want to participate. So,
so if you or anyone else you know is interested, join us. But stay tuned for After Break, as you'll be joined by a special guest that you don't want to miss.
Who is it gonna be?
Say, President Stanley, whenever there's bad weather, who would you turn to?
I'd turn to Storm Team 10.
No, but you've got to say it like this. Storm Team 10. Say it with me. Storm Team 10.
Roll it. Jill told me it was Kitty from Glee. Yeah, what is it?
It's Al Roker.
Welcome back. Tonight we were joined by Gwen Boozer. Gwen is a 20-year-old black trans woman from the South Bronx. She's a gender studies major and psychology major. On campus, she is an RA in Johnson Hall, a Title IX intern, and she does advocacy work for survivors of sexual and domestic abuse, and she volunteers in an anti-LGBTQ discrimination-based nonprofit called Campus Pride.
So, Gwen, welcome to the bigger picture.
Of course, I'm so happy to be here.
Yes.
So, to start off tonight's episode, what aspects of your life story has led you to where you are now?
I mean, as Kiara mentioned, like I grew up in the South Bronx. I was in a lower middle class family. I only had like really my mom and my dad to take care of me, and I had older siblings, but I went to a Catholic school, so I was privileged in the aspect that I went to a private academy. And I guess it took me a while to be like exposed to so much people that didn't like share the same beliefs as me. That like all that sort of all those encounters sort of played their part in a way that like I was able to like develop my own beliefs and become the person I am today. So honestly, while I was around like an environment that maybe wasn't as healthy as I wanted it to be, I'm thankful that I was able to be there because I wouldn't be where I am right now. So.
Wow. That I really do get that. And you also made a really good point that we were literally discussing this week, that like sometimes we don't focus on the privileges that we do have, the fact that you were able to get such a great education, but there were certain instances where you were around people that didn't, they didn't look up to, or just their values or their beliefs didn't align with yours, and you were still able to kind of overcome that.
Totally. And I think that definitely when I came to like SUNY Oswego, it was sort of like a culture shock in a sense, because like my high school, it was an all boys Catholic school. So it was sort of like the dynamic was just the same sort of like people. Everyone was basically the same. Everyone had the same sort of beliefs. And a lot of like the men, even in my school, were like super like sexist. There was a lot of homophobia, transphobia, and they were very open about it due to the fact that it was a religious school. So when I came here and I saw so many like diverse people, so many people that were like trans, lesbian, black, white, Latino, whatever. And it was just like, whoa, like there's so many people like me. And that's why I was so like easily able to make connections with people around me, like even like Matthews and you.
So how do you feel like you going to school to an all boys high school, how did that play a role in like you becoming comfortable with kind of transitioning into the next chapter of your life?
I definitely think that it took me like so long to be around such like negative people to realize I was nothing like those individuals. Like I would hear certain like different banters between like students and stuff like that, and I'd be like, I don't agree with what you're saying, and like I wouldn't be able to like defend myself, because if I defend myself, I'm gonna be the only one saying it, and no one else agrees with me. So it's just like it took me so long to be surrounded by so many like negative people that I was just like, I need to get out of here. I need to be in a place where I feel more comfortable, where I'm able to express myself like freely.
And were you familiar with like SUNY Oswego's LGBTQ community before you came here, or was something that you kind of were exposed to as after you became a student and came on campus?
Well, my main motivation for coming to the school was like, initially I was a zoology major, and like Oswego was like one of the only schools that actually offered that major. So that's why I took the school, and it wasn't like my first choice or anything. So like when I came here, and then like I was exposed to like the LGBT community and stuff like that, and I made so many friends in my own community, I was just so like, I was gagged, literally. I wasn't like surprised. I was literally so surprised and stuff. So it was just like, I didn't know anything about it. Only thing I knew about the school was like, it offers zoology, and that was my only reason for coming.
Yeah, so I know you briefly spoke on it, that like you have been able to find the community once you came to Oswego, but do you feel like you found this community, but do you feel like the campus does a good job in creating a safe space for you and your community?
Oh, absolutely not.
Oh, okay.
Oh, absolutely not.
Okay.
I think that especially me being the person I am, like I'm a black trans woman. Like if it's not like my transness playing a role in like the fact that I face oppression is my blackness. But at the end of the day, I always have to remember that regardless of how people perceive me, I'm always going to be viewed in a certain light because either my blackness or my transness. Like on campus specifically, I'm not going to say like I get hate crime left and right, but I do face a lot of like misgendering, like even at work, like even like my own like social situations in class and stuff like that. And like of course like it bothers me at times, but then I remember that even if I wasn't trans and I was a cisgendered woman, I have to remember that Black women are often emasculated, so it's just like they're always going to be viewed in that masculine light. So it's like nothing I could do about it. Like those are both factors that are fighting against me. But when you have both of them in the same person, it's like 2 times even harder.
Yeah, I totally imagine.
I feel like I can definitely agree on the part where you said just being black period. Is that part. Just because I remember when I was a freshman here in Oswego, literally like I think it was 2 weeks after moving, me and my friends went to McDonald's and we were racially profiled, and it was like we only been here for what 2 weeks, and we were already being talked down on, and it. I don't know if you can agree with me or not, but it made me scared. Like I was definitely scared for what was to come next, just because of the color of my skin. So I definitely get what you're saying when you talk about just being black in general.
No, like definitely. Like my school, at least, even though it was like really weird and like very negative, it did have a lot of POC, like mainly Hispanic people and a lot of black people. But coming here, like I was surrounded by so many white people. Like I wasn't used to so many white people, especially if I go to Walmart with my friends and stuff like that. I've seen like my friends of a darker skin color who are often like racially profiled, and even me too. And sometimes even on campus, like just the stares you get by certain people.
It's crazy.
They're so like scared of blackness, but you also have to think about it like this. Like blackness is so like cool to like non-black people, and they love to share in that culture. But no one actually wants to be black when it comes to oppression. They don't want to have to actually be black. They just want to look it.
That's true.
That was a good one right there. You know, it ties in perfectly with the next question. So last week, it was a very controversial week in SUNY Oswego's campus, and of course you guys know what happened last week with the speaker that came to speak and the protest that happened outside. And it was a lot that week. So Gwen, I would like to ask you, how do you feel about the events that occurred that week? I know we were part of that protest. We were a part of the disagreements and stuff. So, yeah, how do you feel?
I believe that I want to say that it's not in the administration's like power, the fact that like the speaker came, like they couldn't stop the speaker. You have to think about it like from this aspect. The fact that like SUNY Oswego, especially that speaker specifically, she has a reputation for suing many schools. And like it's not like SUNY Oswego is a very, very rich school, like let's be honest. So if another like lawsuit was to come, SUNY Oswego will probably be shut down. But I will say that having a speaker like that specifically set that spark. It's the same thing like let's say like during the like the 2016 or whatever election with Trump and stuff like that. All these like racist people, all these homophobic people, they always existed. They were always there. But all you need is that spark.
One person to enable your beliefs.
And they'll all just come out of the woodworks. And that's exactly how people are. And we've seen it on campus. A lot of people are experiencing like hate crimes and stuff like that now.
It's unfortunate.
And it's just like when you open the gates to homophobia, transphobia, whatever, everyone is just literally gonna come flooding in.
Yeah.
And I think that, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I think that it was also kind of disappointing to see certain organizations that didn't really show their face or present, especially when like, that's what I'm saying, like at the end of the day, no one is gonna defend black trans women but ourselves. No one's gonna stand behind us besides ourselves.
Literally, I agree.
Period.
And what do you feel like, from the perspective of administrative, I know you said that like they can't really do much and bring, since they had no choice in having the speaker come to campus, but what do you feel like their response should have been more of to make the community feel like, okay, we're actually being heard, we're kind of, at least they're trying to take the steps to make us feel safe here, and like, from what I've heard is that's not what it's been.
One of my closest friends said that instead of the protest, we should have held something regarding like trans visibility, since I think it was around that time too. So I think that that was a really good idea, and I feel like the administration should have definitely like sort of did some sort of counter activity to her beliefs, because if you're inviting someone on campus who has constantly called the LGBT community demonic, what are you saying about how you keep your queer people on campus safe? Like, what are you saying exactly? You're gonna say that we're inclusive, we're very diverse, but there's all this diversity and stuff like that, but you're bringing someone on campus who has constantly spewed hate and negative rhetoric. Like, what are you saying about like safety of your queer students?
Yeah. I feel like that's why it's also important to have these conversations now, because we're also setting the tone for the future generations to come, for incoming students to come to Oswego and have this safe environment. So like, I'm glad students took the initiative to like have the protest, and like we're taking those steps towards building the environment that we would want. And I know even there's opportunities in Oswego, one very similar, you participated in the spring break alternative program. So what was that experience like? What was the work that you did with them, and how do you feel like what you learned there you can bring it to Oswego?
So basically, I worked with an organization called Campus Pride, and we did a lot of the organization itself is dedicated to making campuses safer for LGBT community. So we did go through a list of different schools that have like Title IX exemptions and stuff like that, and basically have been discriminatory towards their queer people on campus. And there was like over 170 schools, like trust. And then we also worked on a list of like different schools that are actually safe for this community. Unfortunately, SUNY Oswego wasn't on there, but we're currently trying to work on getting it on there. But
that's why it's good you guys went too.
No, totally. It was kind of disappointing because I would think like SUNY Oswego would be the last school to do that, but then I understand as to like why it didn't happen, because there was something with like whatever leadership or whatever. So, and then we did they had like a lot of speakers come in, and they basically just talked about their experiences being queer and being in the workforce. Like we had a lawyer, we had someone in finance, whatever. And it was nice to see people like me who were like grown, like in the workforce, like in business and stuff like that. And even like a trans woman was there. And it was nice to like have a conversation with her and tell her about like similar experiences I am going through. We're both like the same.
That's really
And
amazing.
I thought she gave me a lot of like good advice regarding like things like dysphoria and gender euphoria, all of that stuff. And it was nice to hear from her perspective how it is to be trans and like how to deal with certain issues and stuff like that.
Just to ask a quick question. So I know that this was in North Carolina, to be correct, right?
Yeah.
So how it felt leaving the state of New York, going to a different state, walking around, being there for the week, how was it like being in a different place?
And still being able to connect with people of like your community too. How was that?
Honestly, I was so gagged. Like, I was genuinely gagged. I was just like, there were so many like nice people. I'm so used to New York, and everyone knows how New York City is. Everyone is rude. No one wants to talk to you. They'll just keep it pushing. But over there, it was like a different energy, a different vibe. A lot of people were so nice. Like, people come up to you, say good morning, good afternoon, whatever, compliment you. And it was just so like cool. And especially someone as a trans woman, and going down to the South, you would think like, oh, like you're gonna face a lot more discrimination because people have very conservative views in the South, whatnot. But there specifically, and I don't want to generalize it for the entire South because I'm sure there are areas like that. But I'm saying in North Carolina specifically, everyone was pretty nice to me. I didn't face any like misgendering or anything like that. People just considered me as a woman, like a normal person. And I did really appreciate that because after being in New York so much and like constantly being misgendered, this and that, it's sort of like culture shock, I guess. Yeah.
Okay. Do you feel like that was the most like rewarding part of the trip, or like, or were there certain highlights that you're like, if I look back to the trip, this is what I will remember?
I feel like I learned more about like myself when I was outside the like the program and stuff like that, because I was able to interact more with the real world. I'm more of like a hands-on person, so I like to see things like from my point of view and like actually experience it, because I feel like we learn more. And that's even like a school in general. Like we learn a lot in classes, of course, but it's all about experience. Because it's like it's one thing to read a book, but to put that into play is another story.
That's true.
So when we return from break, we're gonna ask Gwen a couple final questions. So stick around as we continue the conversation after break.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Shine on that black. Look at the bling. Look at the, do we got a diamond tester on?
Yeah, that's getting bad. Yep.
10
out of 10 recommend on Yelp.
We're going to the playoffs. I can't believe I missed that. Every time I'm buzzed, I spend too much time on my phone. What? I should take your phone away. No. I'll call for a ride. Wait, why does my face look like that?
I'm playing with these new face filters.
Okay, you know what? Yep, that's mine. I'm gonna need that back. No. Kevin!
Hey, welcome back to the bigger picture. Tonight we are joined by Gwen, and let's continue our conversation from before break. So Gwen, being a part of the LGBTQIA plus community here at SUNY Oswego, is there anybody new that you met that you like, wow?
Or even you've known.
Or that you've known that you're like, wow, I appreciate you. Thank you for, supporting me and I'm supporting you, stuff like that.
I've met a lot of great people because I like to say that I have really good taste when it comes to friends.
Yeah.
But
that's how we got
I wouldn't say that. But definitely, I think anyways, I would definitely think that Kay Jimenez is definitely one of my favorite people ever.
Shout out to Kay.
I definitely look up to her, even though she is younger than me. She has been trans longer than me, and it's nice to sort of relate to someone in the sense that we're both black trans women specifically. And she's so passionate about what she believes and what she wants to fight for, and I've always looked up to that. I literally want to be like her when I grew up.
Oh, that's so beautiful. I love that. We do love Kay.
Anybody else you want to give a shout out to?
Oh, are there any professors that you work closely with that you feel like you were able to connect to as well?
Honestly, I wouldn't say any professors, but I will say Lisa Evanesky.
Oh, yes.
Honestly, I met her this semester, and I sort of got closer to her this semester, and I love how serious she takes her work, and I love just everything she does regarding her work. She's doing a lot of good for a lot of people who have been through so much. I'm also a person that has been through so much of the people that she works with and stuff like that. So it's nice to see someone who's actually willing to advocate for different survivors of different stuff.
What has it been like to work with her as a Title IX intern?
Honestly, amazing. I'm so happy I got the opportunity to work with her, and I'm still excited because I'm still going to be interning with her next semester, thankfully.
Okay, that's great.
So she's just really, really sweet. She's very caring. She's very understanding, which I love, because you can't say that about a lot of people on campus.
That is true. Do you feel like in the SUNY Oswego, in the courses you've taken over time, even being a gender and women's studies major, do you feel like the curriculum has fit to bring forth inclusivity for you and your community? Do you feel like there's some type of representation there should be more of?
I think that this representation is definitely kept at a minimum. I want to say that I have taken many feminist theory classes that have covered different queer topics, but there's not enough courses that heavily focus on queer studies. There should be courses dedicated to queer history, LGBT writers, stuff like that. And I feel we definitely need to work towards making more courses focused on that. So yeah.
I feel I'm gonna bring it up since we're on the same class, but I feel Jennifer Fogel's class that we're in right now. There was I don't remember when I think last week where we focused on how LGBTQIA plus community is focused in the media and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel that was a really good class. She did her thing when it came to showing some proof of here's the good, here's the bad, here's the in between. How do you feel about that?
I think that I'm glad that she brought it up, and I thought it was a really good lecture. But it's one thing to have one class about it, but it's one thing to have an entire course
focused on it. Yep.
You know what I mean? There's so much you can explain, so much you can learn from that. So.
You know what I feel there should be more a conversation about, even if students should have the opportunity as well too, or maybe we do, I just don't know of it, to basically submit proposals of some of the courses that we feel need to be talked about in the SUNY Oswego community, because a lot of people's beliefs and values that they bring to the campus community, it's also going to translate into the interactions we have with one another. And if you're not altering that mindset now through the textbooks, through further research resources, it's what is it that we're doing? When are we going to start doing it?
I actually found out that today from my advisor that there is independent studies that students can focus on and earn credits towards. So if you feel there is a subject that you want to just have this semester and it's a semester long project that you want to do research on, write papers and stuff like that, you can talk to your advisor about it, and it could actually be a thing. I know I'm going to take one next semester coming up, so I feel if that relates back to your question, if anybody wants to focus heavily on something, there's the private, not the private studies, the individual studies.
That's actually interesting that you mentioned that, because next semester, my internship supposedly is supposed to be dedicated to sort of getting SUNY Oswego on the Campus Pride. It's going to be an LGBTQ focused project, so that will be in the works in the future.
I'm excited to see everything how it turns out too, especially because now you're planting the seed right here on the bigger picture. And then, even post-grad, I'm going to be keeping up with you and to continue to see the great things you're doing.
So with the final time we have here left on the show, is there any advice you would like to give out there to anybody watching and anybody who can relate to your story?
I would say never lose vision of who you are or who you want to be. I think that we tend to get caught up in like societal standards and like trying to appease certain people, like even maybe family, friends, whatever. And I feel like during those processes, we tend to lose like who we actually are. And I think that I went through something like that in which like I tried to like appease the society standards. I tried to appease to my parents and stuff like that. And then I thought to myself, why am I doing this? Because I'm losing myself. So I think, honestly, just stay true to yourself. Like, that's the best advice I could give. And I know it sounds sort of cliche, but honestly, it's deep. And it's real.
That's your form of self-care.
Yeah.
You just take it. That's your way of taking care of yourself, because if you're not going to do it, no one else will. So just taking that initiative to kind of just keep yourself afloat, because a lot of the times, considering your identities and all the different things that make you who you are, society is going to try to knock you down, and that really applies to a lot of us, like here in this room. So really just kind of staying focused to the vision, and I agree.
And it's crazy to say that, like, college made me realize that, like, it's hard to stay who you are. Well,
oh my gosh,
it's hard to, like, to stay who you are and, like, show who you are in this, in college, and not even this school alone, just colleges in general, because it's like what Gwen mentioned earlier. You're walking into a place where it's like, it's a new environment. You're seeing all different types of people there. So it's like, you don't know if you want to change who you are or stick to what you are, because, like mentioned earlier, this college as well as other colleges, there are a lot of people who judge here. So it's like, you don't know if you should be yourself without having the fear of, like, is this person going to say something, that person going to say something? But I agree with what you said, like, basically forget all that. Just be who you are. If you know who you are, then just keep writing it.
And not only that, but I think that, like, even, like, in general, not even just college, like high school, the workplace, like, people never stop, like, changing. People tend to lose themselves. Yeah.
Literally.
Like, growth is not linear. That's my number one thing. Like, you can be, you're not going to be who you were yesterday. You're not going to be, like, you know, it's always changing. And I just feel like a lot of the time society needs to change with us, because, you know, we're going to continue to grow and just keep thriving.
I forgot who it was. I think it was a high school teacher I had, but she always said change is fun. Change is like is the best thing to possibly do.
Totally.
But tonight was a good episode.
It was
I feel
a great
like
conversation.
It was a
Thank
great
you so
conversation.
Much, Gwen.
Yeah.
Of course.
So we would like to thank Gwen for joining us here tonight on The Bigger Picture. Don't forget that we're always here. Every other Thursday, we're here live in the studio. So if you want more of The Bigger Picture, come every other Thursday, watch us live here at 9:30, or just go to our YouTube page in WTOP and watch us and our past videos, and watch this episode too on YouTube. But don't forget to tune on the next episode of The Bigger Picture, April 27th, for the series finale. Tears. But until then, as always, don't forget to see things through the bigger picture.
Have a good night, guys.
In 5, 4, 3, 2,
live life, breathe air. I know somehow we're gonna get there and feel so wonderful.
Get in, losers.
It's time for the Sun and Sun Show.
Sun, 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 Welcome back to the one, the only, best show on WTOP, The Sunasa Show. Grab your popcorn, because this one's going to get interesting. I'm Megan.
And I'm Donna. And I don't even know what this says. I want to start off by saying, did we have one heck of a weekend, Megan?
We did. Oh,
we did.
But before we get into any of those details, I wanted to do a fit check. Woo woo.
Now,
Slay.
I know I had a good outfit last week, and I know I was talking about it a lot, but I'm really feeling this outfit this week.
No, you
so,
look good.
We're going to start with the coat
I can't
here.
say you don't.
I got everything I have as thrifted except the skirt. So we'll start with the jacket. The jacket is from the thrift. I'm going to take the jacket off now.
Ooh.
And then, so now I have this shirt. This is the DG1 Vintage shop, the same place I got your bag from last week.
Oh, slay.
I got this. This is Hottie. Glasses brought to you by the Oswego Streets. I found them. I found them today on the Oswego Streets. They actually, shout out to Nia Davis, as she said, they found me. I didn't find them. I also have my candy necklace choker on with my little flared skirt. And then, of course, I had to rock it out with the boots there. And they have little hearts on I almost flashed everyone there, on television. Thank you.
Love that.
But, slay! Donna?
Okay, well, we get it. You look good. You looked good last week, too. Whatever.
Thank you.
Okay, Jill. It's my turn. Stop! Okay. Hi, Slays. Okay. What am I doing? I don't know. Guys, we had a weekend. I'm still dead. Okay. Let's start off with my Coca-Cola hat that I got at the Coca-Cola store in Las Vegas, Nevada. And then moving down, I just put this white button down from American Eagle, and then I have this shirt.
I like it a lot.
Thank you, Slay. I don't know where this shirt's from, but it's red, and it's tank top. And then
it matches the hat very well.
I know fashion, clearly. Jeans, these are like 90s boyfriend's jeans from American Eagle. I don't know if I've worn them before. My Vans that I've worn before. And wait, I also have Coca-Cola socks.
Ooh, it's all about
Brand
the
deal.
little details.
It's all about the branding.
It's all about the branding and the little
We are
details.
sponsored by Coca-Cola.
I really like these glasses, by the way. I thank you to the Oswego Streets.
We already did yours.
Okay, but I'm just saying, I really like them. I just wanted to say...
There goes my phone. It wouldn't be an episode if I dropped my phone.
Well, I just wanted to say, with this semester being almost over, we've had some pretty iconic fits, most definitely. And speaking of fashion and everything, tonight is the biggest night of fashion of the year, the Met Gala.
We love the Met Gala.
I'm very, very excited, of course. This year it's being hosted at the Metropolitan Museum of Art in NYC.
Right.
This year is being In America, Anthropology of Fashion. Now, the theme this year, it's a two-part theme with the theme last year, Lexington in Fashion. And last year, Lexicon, I'm so sorry, everyone. Lexicon in
glad
fashion.
Matt knows what we're doing.
I'm glad I can read. So this is a two-part series, and so last year they focused more on princes and princesses and the rich, and this year they are mostly focusing on the backbone of America. So the theme of this year, they asked the guests to channel the Gilded Ages from the 1870s to the 1890s, and focused on inclusivity of fashion. So I'm so excited to see what all the red carpet brings. It started at 6 o'clock, so we already probably have a sneak peek if we really looked. If you're out there looking. It's by the time this gets aired, though.
Yeah.
It'll probably be peak Met Gala. The carpet will probably already be over. But the reason I wanted to highlight this is because they're highlighting a lot of women this year, especially. They're getting recognized. So the question I wanted to ask you is, what women are you excited to see on the carpet?
Well, I heard Billie Eilish is attending. I can't wait to see what she wears. I heard a rumor that Khloe Kardashian arrived in New York City this morning. So I'm hoping we get all the Kardashians at the Met Gala this year.
Oh, I heard, and we were talking about this on our car ride to the Raptors, that Kim Kardashian is going to be showing up in the Happy Birthday, Mr. Kennedy dress.
I hope she is.
And I don't know if anyone knows who wore that dress. It was Marilyn Monroe. It's a gold, beautiful dress. It's actually in the Ripley's Believe It or Not museum, because it's like a $300 million dress or something like that. It's crazy expensive, and she has been rumored to wearing it, and especially her and Pete. Now I'm very excited to see if she's going to go separately, if she's going to go with him.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what they're going to bring.
Excited to see if Pete does come. I'm excited to see what Pete's going to wear.
I'm very excited.
Yeah.
The one thing I'm really bummed about is Zendaya will not be there.
Me too. Because
every single carpet that Zendaya's on, I love it. Every single
Especially
look
everything that she's
has.
been doing with Euphoria and all those carpets. Yeah.
She slays everything she does.
Slay.
She's a slayer.
Slay, 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 slay.
Slay. Okay. Oh, this is me. Well, now that we're talking about the past, it's only fair that we talk about the future. So, where is she? Let's bring her out, guys.
This is Miss Megan, the baby.
Megan with an H.
Miss Meg. Can we get a little close-up on her?
Look at her. Oh, my God. She is demonic.
La, 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 la.
Yes, they spelled it with an H.
La, la, la.
Yes.
So inside of her is a piece of sea glass and Damon Park's business card. She's got a BBL. Oh, she's snatched. And she also has her little candy. You forgot to talk about your candy watch.
I did. Guys, I have 2 watches on today. So if you need to know what time it is, just hit me up, because I know
So I have my candy necklace on. We have Megan, who has her candy necklace watch on.
A big candy necklace family.
And you have Donna, who also has her watch on. So Miss Meg's going to sit with us here. She will be born in the year.
No, I don't want
she
to
will
look
be
at me.
born in the year 2069 on the date 4/20.
April 20th.
April 20th, 2069.
Yep.
That's when she will be born. But for now, we're just keeping her here in good spirits until she's allowed to be let out into the universe.
She is demonic. Yeah, look at
But coming up, we will tell you about the crazy weekend we had out in the Adirondack River. Don't go anywhere. Hi, I'm Megan.
And I'm Donna.
And this is the Sunset Show. Grab your low-rise jeans because we're taking it back to the 2000s.
Let's go, girls.
Uggs and low-rise jeans.
Together.
One of the boys, boy.
Sorry, it's my agent. He told me that you're canceled.
Shebangy, shebangy, shebangy.
Welcome to the burial ground. We hold must-see also and all of sports entertainment.
Welcome back to the Kind of Lake Show, where we talk about anything and everything going on in our lives and yours.
Well, my birthday was November 13th,
so it's been quite some time.
I think at the end we saw her get up.
I did that.
Here's a winner. Yeah, I did bring you sweater for everyone. There you go! I know your dreams.
You started the paper throwing, just the immaturity. You lost before you even argued.
Pretty insane that the Clippers, 10 of the last 11 postseasons, they're in there.
Welcome back to the crazy mess that is Meg, not Donna. Donna's never
Meg
had a
and
mess.
Donna.
Nope.
Most definitely. Anywho, so let's talk about what we did this weekend. First of all, we went whitewater rafting with the Outdoors Club this weekend. Thank you. Can we get a round of applause for John Custodio?
John
Custodio, great president of the Outdoors Club over here, took us.
Yeah. And a nepotist.
King of the Outdoors Club. We wanted to a big shout out to him for taking the whole club whitewater rafting. It
Yeah.
was one of the best weekends of my entire life. I know everyone that went on the trip. We all got our pictures back this
Yeah,
weekend, and
they were great.
we were raging about it. We had so much fun.
Yeah.
Hayden over there, she got knocked out of the boat.
Hayden almost died.
Hayden almost really died, but it was funny. Good that I'm glad that she's alive now, but it was she fell out at the worst time.
I didn't think it was funny.
And now that she's okay.
I was terrified the entire time. You could
I
see
had
it in
I
my
had an
eyes.
awesome time.
I would never go again.
But are you guys ready to see it?
Yeah, we should probably just show you. Mel, roll it.
Hey guys, I'm Megan.
And I'm Donna.
Welcome back to the Senasa Show.
Hayden's back here.
I love water. Today we went whitewater rafting. It was a lot of fun. Hayden fell out.
Hayden fell out, almost died.
But we'll have a few clips for you in a minute.
Yes.
Bye!
one of the best weekends of my entire life. I could not have thought of a better weekend to end college off with. Seriously.
I could have. I was terrified.
I loved every single minute of it, but the
mean,
fact that Megan could not come with us.
Yeah, we're mad
John,
about that. I'm mad that Megan couldn't come.
She could have fit right in my little thing.
Yeah, she would have loved it.
And she would have gone.
She could have taken my spot.
She would have loved it, I know.
Yeah. I did have fun. I was just terrified. I think you could see it in my face how terrified I was.
Yeah, Donna kind of was a little bit overstimulated the
I was really overstimulated. I don't think I said a word.
No, she didn't say too much. No, she didn't say too much. It was okay. Hayden rocked out. Hayden did really good. She rode on the front of the boat, and then after she took a spin, she still wanted more.
We're going for a swim.
Yeah, she was like, let's go for a swim. And then shout out to Dubes. Dubes was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
She also rode down the river and everything in her little life vest.
And shout out to Kim for
recording all of that
footage. Yeah.
But we are missing someone here today.
We are.
That isn't with us.
Yeah.
And to share with all of our memories.
Mm-hmm.
So the best member of our crew isn't here.
Yeah.
And as he's not here, I have heard from buzzes around the studio that he has a message for us.
Yeah, he has a little. We saw what we did over the weekend, and now it's time to see
what
Jack did.
Our man Jack.
Yeah.
So,
let's see.
Roll the
Mel?
clip.
This last week have been very interesting for me in the sense from the basketball game to the sad news I got on Wednesday. Around 7:30, our great VP of Prod, Megan Trivia, brought me some supplies like Gatorade, lottery tickets, some snacks, and a thermometer. Then others reached out. Then, what did I do at 9 p.m.? Well, I watched WTOP 10, of course. I watched news, and then I watched the Kind of Late Show. At about 2 p.m., I left for quarantine. After that, I really didn't do anything besides watch most of nightly news, which I normally work on as technical director, and I also watched OX5. After that, I watched Laker Connections, who gave me a shout out on the air. Then I watched Laker Baseball and WNO when they won, and I also they also gave me a shout out on that broadcast. And then I watched lacrosse on WTOP 10, and they thanked me, and then they also shouted me out. Now on Saturday, I feel way better with no fever, and I would say, and my cough is getting progressively better. What I did today was I listened to baseball on my phone and watched WTOP 10 Women's Lacrosse podcast. After that, I had the worst potatoes I've ever tasted in my lifetime. And then after that, it was really it. Then at 9 p.m., I turned on entertainment news on my computer, and then I watched major discussions with Brian Roman and Jacob Bradley, also Melinda Mercado and Faye. I wanted to give a huge shout out for all the people helping me, ask me if they need anything through this difficult time. Those people are Melinda Mercado, Donna Bassell, Megan Trivia, Merrick Tascade, Lily Clark, Jill Plant, Jacob Johnson, Brian Rudman, Brian Saccone, Jack Paradick, Aaron Valentino, and Zach Case. And everyone else who looked at my tweets on my COVID story on Twitter, Instagram post on my COVID story there, and my Instagram stories on my COVID journey. Thank you.
Oh, I love Jack so much.
I love Jack. He texted me on Saturday, and he was like, what do you guys have planned for Monday? And I said, well, not much. So he helped us out and got us some content today.
Some content. We really
Thanks,
appreciate
Jack.
that. I'm really glad that Jack has been texting me all weekend, sending me photos of his food.
Yeah.
He won $27 in the lottery tickets I gave him,
Good
which
for him.
Rude, but whatever.
I know. I only won 5. Oh, no, I won 4.
I won 0.
Well, good.
Rude. Anywho, we're really sad that Jack won't be able to be here for these next few days because he's obviously still just recuperating and everything. He's okay. We're glad he's better and everything. Shout out also to our director, Michelle, that she's not able to be here today because she is also sick.
We miss you, Michelle.
We do miss you, Michelle. Love you.
Miss ya.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. All right. Well, in a little bit,
we will have the question of the day right when 2 seconds. We'll be right back.
Yeah.
Sana sa, sana sa, sana sa sa, sana sa.
And we're back!
Yay!
I knew you missed us so much.
I did.
But it's all for our favorite time of the show.
Yes.
The question of the day.
Yay!
Whoa, whoa, I feel like I haven't sang. I haven't sang.
I usually say you're a good singer, but that one hurt my ear.
What song should I sing right now? Give me one. Give me one. Quickly. Come on.
I can't think of
I
one.
didn't sing. I haven't sang a lot in this episode. Come on.
I don't know because you just hurt my eardrum.
Why ever gotta be so
You
complicated?
You don't know
See
the
way you're acting like somebody else gets me
If you knew the words,
frustrated.
I would tell you a
Life's
song.
like this, you fall and you call and you break and you shake what you get and you turn it into.
There's
honestly,
only one episode left, guys. Let's hope I can get through it.
Okay, we're going to go to the question of the day. So obviously with us being surrounded by a lot of friends this weekend, especially with the Outdoors Club, we saw, shout out to Danny Hernandez.
Yes!
He came up this weekend, and
Love
we
you,
saw
Danny.
him. We love you so much.
Love you, Danny.
We saw Danny this weekend. Jack, of course, great friend. We have all the girls here. We have our student audience that loves and comes to support us.
Student audience.
They are a student audience.
Audiences of students that we teach every day how to be better.
There is a student audience.
Well, you're students, are you not? They're mad that we call them student audience.
All right, whatever. Well, our audience. So
I did yell at Jacob Bradley earlier because I was stressed and he was talking, and I said, "Can you shut up? I need to hear this."
No, literally, Donna got frustrated. Donna was getting. Donna was getting frustrated because she was trying to edit the videos, and I literally walked in, and Jill said, "Our friend Jill, turn the camera around on you. Turn it on on your son.
Hurry up, Jill. We don't got all day."
There's Jill.
There's Jill.
Yeah. So Jill was like, she's not in a good mood. And then she's like, no, I'm not in a good mood. And then I was like, oh, and I turned around and walked my little butt right out of there.
Which leads us into the question.
Which leads us into the question of the day. What makes a good friend / what qualities do you look in for a best friend, for a lifelong friend? Would you like to start? Would you like me to start?
You can start.
Something that I look for, as we have become really good friends over these, my earpiece keeps falling out, everyone, because these glasses, is no expectations. I think, especially in friendships, there's a lot of expectations to be great, to be 100%, to be this and that. And I think, to be 1,000%. And I think sometimes, like this weekend, there was no expectations. We were all a group of people who just got together, and I had to have fun.
Yeah.
And I think that's really what makes friends. I think someone that's always there for you no matter what, and someone that you can just go to and like laugh with.
Yeah.
I think especially this weekend, shout out to one of my, okay, this is gone out of my ear. Oh. Shout out to my other friend, Alexis. Alexis Santos, she invited me over to a barbecue this weekend right after we went rafting. And there was, I met this kid who I don't know if I told you about this. He sings outside on the streets every single night, and I don't know who he is. And there was one night that I opened up my window and I screamed. I was like, hey, you have such a beautiful voice. And I startled the crap out of him. But I met him this weekend because he's like my neighbor and she is friends with him. And it's like this, it was like this whole full circle moment. And I was like, oh my gosh. And it was just like, now we're like good friends. And I added him on like socials and everything. And like, it's just like fun things like that. And I think, especially with like college coming down to the last few weeks here, I've really realized who a lot of my friends are. And I've really realized that I'm going to make some friends for life. You know, I have, especially like I have you, I have a lot of the girls behind the camera, everyone sitting over there. I have a lot of lifelong friends that I'll never forget.
Yeah.
What do you want to say anything? Do you have any qualities that you like in a friend?
I want you to say what your mom said to you about me.
Oh, I'll read the text. So
and then I'll get into mine. Shout out to Megan's mom.
I like to tell my mom, obviously, everything. My mom's one of my best friends. So over the weekend, my mom sent me.
Shout out to my mom, too, because she's going to get mad that I didn't shout my mom.
So she sent me.
Love you, Mom.
So she sent me this quote first. She said, either you lift people up by respecting them, making them feel valued, appreciated, and heard, or you hold people down by making them feel small, insulted, disregarded, or excluded. And then after I talked about how I had an amazing trip this weekend with Donna and everything, and my mom was just saying how she's so glad. Here, where is it? She's so glad. Of course, I can't find it now. Basically, long story short she's just so glad. She's very jealous of the relationship that Donna and I have, and she said that Donna is a forever friend, and Donna is someone that's hard to find. Friends like Donna don't come around every every once in a while, and I'm very lucky to have you.
Aw, thank you.
And I know I am. But I text you that every single day. I wake up in the morning thinking about you.
As you should. No, I'm kidding. I told my mom that what your mom said about me, and I said, and I was like, my mom was like, well, what did you say back? I said, as she should. And my mom was like, Donna, that's not how you treat people.
Well,
no, I did, but you know,
it's because you came to my house the other day. Like, I really needed my medicine, and Donna went and picked it up for me at my house, which was like something big because if I'm not on my meds, it's just cray.
Should I answer the question?
Yes, you go. We have a few minutes left.
Okay, so I have always had trouble in my friendships. I don't drop people. Like, it's not like that. It's just that, like, I always feel like I'm working harder in the friendship relationship, and that I'm always there for them, but they're not always there for me. And I've learned that that's not how every friendship is, especially from our friendship, because we do things for each other. And I think both of us have the same idea. We don't have expectations of each other because we're not perfect humans. Nobody's perfect. Shout out to Hannah Montana.
1, 2, 3, 4. Everybody makes mistakes.
Like, when Megan interrupts me, I don't get mad because Megan interrupts me every 5
make me,
seconds.
Look phenomenal. Put the camera back at me, Joe.
Honestly, what makes a good friend? One that doesn't interrupt you when they're talking. Just kidding.
Just keep the camera on me the rest of the show.
Or not. We could also not do that. Do you guys want to hear something funny?
Go.
This is the first script that Megan's written.
This is the first script that I've written, and it will be the last script that I've written, as next week is our last show of the semester!
Yeah! Well, is it yay or sad? It's sad.
It's sad, but it's exciting.
Yeah.
We will be an hour-long special, so make sure you guys
tune in.
Why, hello! What a gorgeous evening here in beautiful, and actually for once, sunny Oswego, New York, and a beautiful evening here to talk some Laker sports. This is Laker Connections on WTOP 10. I'm Jared Wakefield. I'm joined by Thomas Sturgeon. Sturge, a week sabbatical, but after a few rustling arounds and a win for the Laval Rocket, back in Oswego to talk about Laker sports.
Yeah, absolutely. We're back in action here this week, and we shouldn't really change anything up anyways. So let's start things off with the way we always do and start things off in the past instead of the present and the near future with the last week in Laker sports. Jared, women's lacrosse, getting to it.
All right, let's adjust the rearview mirror, get in a good position. Okay, we're ready to go.
And
Women's lacrosse spent the past week bouncing back from a loss to Geneseo with 2 statement wins as they mount a charge for the SUNY playoffs. Isabella Lembo tallied 5 goals and 10 Lakers put up at least a point in a 21-3 rout in Potsdam. They came back home on Wednesday to face one of their toughest opponents yet in the Brockport Golden Eagles. In a roller coaster of a game, the Lakers came away with a thrilling 9-7 victory. It was an impressive outing for Sarah Kamide as she stopped 9 of 10 free position chances for Brockport, deciding the game. Turds, the offense and defense were there for Oswego, despite really intense offensive pressure from the Golden Eagles in Potsdam. They just kind of ran them over.
Yeah, it was like a massive bus just running over a flock of bears and birds in just one fatal week. And
it's a lot of roadkill.
That's a lot of roadkill. And Sela Wiley getting her 100th goal against Brockport, so a huge congratulations to her. She also had 8 assists in the win against Potsdam, so working things on both sides of the offense. Isabella Lembo, 5 goals, Quirk, 4 goals in that game against Potsdam, but also you have others tallying in the lineup. You have Sadie Zemanek, Lexi Levy, Noelle Smith, all of them contributing goals in the lineup against Potsdam in that Brockport game. That was just ridiculous. Oswego would get up 4, Brockport would get a response, tie it up. The Oswego would go again. Brockport looking for a last-minute push, but it just wasn't enough.
There was a lot of momentum, and Brockport really kind of dominated the game overall. They had the offensive pressure. They led in shots, but Oswego, as we talked about since we were on the broadcast, a quality over quantity day for the Lakers. They were selective with their shots, really only shot when they got in close, forced Brockport to make the goalie pull. Aaron Lant came in to relieve Hannah Parsons. once Lant came in, that settled the scoring down, but Kamai didn't need a reliever. She was solid all night.
Absolutely. Kamai played absolutely lights out. In both games, she actually got pulled in the Potsdam game to bring in Nicole Ahern, a freshman, into that lineup. So being able to rotate your squad a little bit is just a little bit easier to do for the women's lacrosse team as they get another job done. But, Jared, we go from the women's to the men's, where the men's lacrosse team, where Andrew Daly and the guys are charging through red teams like a bull in a china shop with a sound win against Plattsburgh, followed by a close comeback run against Oneonta in the fourth quarter last weekend. Oswego currently sits in second in the SUNYAC behind the Geneseo Knights and currently in 3-0. Jared, clearly this team is trending towards the right direction, heading into some very tough tests in the upcoming weeks.
Yeah, I mean, these next couple weeks are a pretty big deal for the men's lacrosse team. We got more on that later, but looking back on this weekend, that was a win they needed. Oswego really struggled in the first half of that game. They were unable to get a lead on Oneonta. They rallied back. It was a chippy game, a lot of big hits late, a lot of chippiness between the benches. The bench getting really into it on the Oswego side, enough to tick the referees off a little bit. They got a couple warnings to settle down, but at the end of the day, it didn't matter. And Oswego dealt Oneonta their first conference loss of the year. And Oswego still undefeated in conference play. Aiden Kenyon had an up-and-down day, but he settled in the fourth quarter to bring things home, and a big day for Gavin Elston.
Absolutely. That Oneonta game, they just went to town on that comeback. Oneonta, a very tough team to play against on their home turf. For Oswego State, they get the job done, and then that Plattsburgh game, just backtracking a little bit. The offense was all over the place. Corey O'Connor, 4 goals and 2 assists. It's pretty simple. Every time Plattsburgh scored, Oswego had about 4 more to answer. And then the goaltender for Plattsburgh, Dan Clemens, 17 saves on the day. Just goes to show how much that offense was going. And 2 goals on the man up for the Lakers. So really the man up and overall offense for Oswego State has been rolling.
Absolutely. And in that Plattsburgh game, Plattsburgh, made it interesting late, but it seemed like Oswego was the dominant team, and Oneonta was the other way around. They had the early momentum. Lakers took over, and the deciding factor for the Lakers, 5 unanswered, 4 of them in the fourth quarter. But after an up-and-down start to the year, we'll head to the Diamond, where Oswego baseball has settled in and built themselves a nice little 7-game winning streak. They swept the Fredonia Blue Devils to take their first 3 conference wins of the year. Lakers then went on a pair of road trips that proved to be worth the while. Lakers swept the New Paltz Hawks, putting up 42 runs in the trio of games. Lakers then visited the University of Rochester for a Wednesday night tilt, where the Lakers squished the Yellow Jackets with their bats by a final score of 12-10. Turns, the bats are finally starting to heat up for baseball across the board, but Olin Parliament has been the Lakers' Sultan of SWAT all year long.
It's very ironic because I listened to the Dire Straits this morning, the Sultans of Swing, but it has been the Sultans of SWAT with Owen Parliament. And this is just the New Paltz weekend alone. 11 at-bats, 7 hits, 9 RBIs, 8 of them being in just 1 game alone for the New Paltz game, and it was just absolutely ridiculous. That first game, Oswego getting the job done. Second game, Oswego had 10 runs in the first inning alone against New Paltz, and then that first game, a 12-0 win for the Lakers. On the other hand, the Rochester game, Parliament also had 3 runs in that game, so he's just been very consistent since transferring in from Binghamton.
Absolutely, and Oswego getting a big 12-0 shutout against New Paltz, and a banner day for the pitching staff. Karen Finnegan picked up the win in that second matchup against New Paltz. 5 innings pitched, only gave up a single hit and a walk, 7 strikeouts. Sean Clifford in relief, 2 innings, nice and clean, 1 batter on base on a walk, 3 strikeouts. So a great day for Oswego pitching. They've had an up-and-down year, but with Finnegan, it seems like they found something.
Finnegan's been the consistent, really, pitcher for this Lakers team. It seems like they've been running through a gauntlet in terms of pitchers when it comes to this season, and Finnegan's really been the consistent bright spot for this team. We expected that after the performance he had last year. On the other hand, though, baseball was 7 in a row, so nonetheless, it's a good start for the Lakers going into this weekend. But we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we've already talked about the past. How about the future? Coming up right after this.
Hey there, I'm Al Roker, class of 76. Yes, way back in 76. Back when the earth was cooling. You're watching WTOP.
The Kinda Late Show with Chloe and Anna. Like licorice, Twizzlers, absolutely nasty. The thought of turkey is just
nauseating.
I think you're wrong, is what I think.
You think I'm wrong a lot of time.
I do think you're wrong a lot.
When you look at the number of disasters in the U.S., chances are every area will deal with some kind of emergency in the next decade. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Put the keys down, Kevin.
But I'm gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
I guess I have really been looking for love in this dating app. Yep, I'm definitely gonna call a ride home.
Welcome back to Laker Connections right here on WTOP 10. Jared Wakefield and Thomas Sturgeon here with you. And Sturge, no more rearview mirror. It's all hands on deck. We're a month away from graduation, and we'll take a look at the week ahead for the Oswego State Lakers. The season getting to crunch time.
It is getting to crunch time, and we start off with the softball team who got their first SUNYAC victory this weekend over Potsdam. However, Oswego will come back home to welcome two of the top three teams in the conference, being the Oneonta Red Dragons and the New Paltz Hawks. Oneonta comes in on Friday with an undefeated conference record, where New Paltz sits at 3-1. Who will have a doubleheader on Friday at Cortland before visiting the Port City. Jared, a task is at hand for the Lakers in their first SUNYAC contest on their home diamond, and it's going to come with two tough tests.
Absolutely, and the history and the track record somewhat reflects what's going on here. I mean, all-time against New Paltz, Oswego 26-25 all-time, so about 500 both teams against Oneonta, 33-46 for the Red Dragons. Have had the upper hand. If your team's named the Red Dragons, you're probably good on the diamond. Fiona Higgins has been very good on the diamond, though, on both ends of the ball. 18 strikeouts. 18 strikeouts in that first game against Cazenovia College this past Wednesday. 7 hits, 1 walk. Higgins been on fire at the plate, one of the few lefty batters on this Oswego State softball team, and she has been a big tool in the softball tool set.
Yeah, it's been huge for the Lakers. Fiona Higgins working on both ends, the pitching and the hitting for the Lakers. And Oswego only one home win against Oneonta in the last decade. I mean, they get the wins against Cazenovia, but talk about the Red Dragons. They're a perfect 4-0 in SUNYAC, although a 500 team on record right now. New Paltz, on the other hand, they won their last two against Brockport. We mentioned they have Cortland on Friday. That's not an easy task before coming into Oswego. And Oswego split the last series at home. New Paltz, on the other hand, they got a little bit of offense going. Third in the conference in runs and second in hits.
Absolutely. It's going to be really interesting to see what they do here. Something I did want to note, looking at some of their stats, softball doing a good job getting on base. They've taken a lot of walks. They have pretty good eyes at the plate. So the bats haven't quite been there. They've had pretty good eyes at the plate. We'll see if that'll help them going into this week. However, it's a really long one this week for Oswego baseball, as they have 5 games within the next 7 days. The good news is they're finally going to be at home for once. They'll start on the road, however, for the first of 3 games against St. John Fisher on Friday, for they'll host the last 2 of that set on Saturday here at the Laker baseball field. Then they'll host number 23 ranked Ithaca College Bombers on Tuesday and make up a postponed matchup against SUNY Cobleskill on Wednesday. This is quite the busy week for baseball, Turge, and they'll be beyond the diamond during Christmas celebrations.
A lot of celebrations going. The Lakers currently 7 in a row, but right now they're going to have to get the job done on this weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They got a really tough test in Ithaca, number 23 in the nation, like you mentioned, 6-3 in conference so far. Oswego did win their last game against them, though. It was last season an 11-0 game. But overall, looking at the first opponent on the chopping block for the Lakers, St. John Fisher, a little bit on the positive side for the Cardinals instead of the Lakers. 14-11 so far. They're averaging a little more than 1 run per game compared to the Lakers, and averaging a little bit more, almost closer to 2 hits per game than Oswego State. So Fisher, they've won 2 of the last 5, but they're perfect in conference, 9-0. Ironically enough, last loss against Ithaca.
Wow, and it's going to be really interesting to see, the Bombers, such a strong program. St. John Fisher, not one to scoff at, too. That Rochester baseball scene, some pretty good programs in the past. U of R, historically a very good program, but also you were able to get the better hand of them. That's steps in the right direction. And plus, it's really, you cannot understate this team has found their bats. The last time we did a show, Olin Parliament, the only hitter above 300. Now out of hitters who qualify and have played enough games, 4 of them above 300, and their worst hitters hitting 217. Everybody else 260 and up. So that is huge progress on the hitting side. It seems like they finally woken up.
Absolutely. It's a huge test for the Lakers going into this week, but we'll switch things up a bit. We go to the links where the Oswego State golf team will travel down to the Hershey Country Club this weekend for the second time in a month for the Empire 8 Conference Spring Championship. The Lakers struggled down in Chocolatetown in their last tournament, finishing as a team with a score of 662 and finishing 14th out of the 15 teams participating. Oswego's top scorers were Ryan Fecko shooting 16 over and tied for 31st, as well as Jake Owens shooting 17 over and tied for 36. Jared, we are clearly not pros, but you have to think playing a couple rounds there a couple weeks back may give them a little bit of positivity going into the second time around down in Hershey.
Absolutely, it's huge. And one of the interesting things with golf here at SUNY Oswego is that it's a whole year sport. They play a couple invitationals in September, have a little 2-3 weeks of chaos, and then they do it all over again in April as the weather allows. So they usually have to travel pretty far to find greens that aren't underwater like they are here in Oswego. But it was a bit of a tough Hershey Cup invitational there for the Oswego State Lakers on the links. Tyler Donahue and Evan McDonald finishing pretty much at the bottom of the tournament, which really brought them down. And strong tournament for RPI as Jacob Lindsay, led the way. Evan McDonald, unfortunately, pretty much right at the bottom of the list of golfers. Only Jack Cooley from Franklin and Marshall was below him, and he did not even finish the tournament. So a little bit of a tough outing for SUNY Oswego. Wallen, Donahue, and McDonald, they'll look to rebound, maybe find a little bit more luck, and we'll see what happens this weekend as they go for the EA title.
The one thing that they constantly improved upon, though, is all of the golfers, minus Fecko, improved their score between day 1 and day 2. But you look at RPI, 138 compared to a couple of Lakers, 150. So either way, a lot of stuff to look forward to. But we're going to take a quick break. When we change things up a little bit, it's not the Wheelhouse Wire, it's the Turf Takeaways with men's and women's lacrosse coming up next on WTOP 10.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Shine on that boy. Look at the bling. Look at do we got a diamond tester on?
Yeah, that's getting bad. Yep.
10
out of 10 recommend on Yelp.
We're going to the playoffs. I can't believe I missed that. Every time I'm buzzed, I spend too much time on my phone. What? I should take your phone away. No. I'll call for a ride. Hey, why does my face look like that?
I'm playing with these new face filters.
Okay, you know what? Yep, that's mine.
I'm gonna need that back.
No.
Kevin.
Welcome back to Laker Connections here on WTOP 10, and as the weather gets a little more tropical here in the Port City, so do our little different blocks. Instead of the Wheelhouse Wire, it's the Turf Takeaways, featuring the men's and women's lacrosse teams both in action this week. Jared, women's lacrosse Senior Day coming up this Saturday.
Exactly. It's basically hockey upside down. But for the third time ever, the Oswego State Lakers will take on the Plattsburgh Cardinals in women's lacrosse action. Lakers have won both matchups and have outscored Plattsburgh in both matchups by a total of 40-10. Thomas, this is a relatively new Plattsburgh program that is going to face quite the challenge against Oswego.
Absolutely. Oswego has steamrolled the Plattsburgh Cardinals over the last few times. Lembo had 7 goals in that game. Castiglione not playing this year, but obviously had the Senior Day last year in the video shown on screen. 2 goals and 8 assists in the last time out. Oswego was up 12-2 at the half. It wasn't even close, and it was just an absolute broom sweep on Senior Day.
Yeah, absolutely. And, Oswego setting it up nicely. You've got a nice little... I don't want to, it's a new program for Plattsburgh. They're getting there eventually, but it is kind of a bit of a softball for Senior Day. You want to have a nice day for the seniors. You want to come away with a win. It'll be interesting to see how it goes this Saturday.
They got a, I'd say, relatively easy test. But either way, once the Lakers get done with Plattsburgh, if they get done with Plattsburgh this weekend, they will begin their 3-game road trip to end the season, starting with a trip down to Buffalo State next Wednesday. Oswego has won the last 9 matchups, including their last loss to the Bengals was a decade ago. This should be really an easy test for Oswego State and one more win in the column, Jared.
Yeah, Thomas, we talked about this team potentially making a SUNYAC playoff run. Certainly right now, it would have to be an astronomical collapse for them to miss the playoffs. But right now, seems like they're certainly in the playoffs, but if they want to contend for a chip or at least get to a point where they can win a game or two and put themselves in that situation, they're going to need to win these games. You can't write these games off, especially against Buffalo State. If I had a trap card to put on the game this year, it might be Buffalo State. A team looking to get back in the win column could easily sneak one away if the lacrosse squad isn't careful.
Absolutely. And Sela Wiley, 4 goals and 3 assists in the last time out against them. The Lakers put 10 in the first quarter in that last game against Buffalo State. So it should be a barn burner for sure.
Absolutely. We'll move on over to men's lacrosse now, and in another new matchup, the Oswego State Lakers will face the New Paltz Hulks for just the second time ever. In last year's inaugural battle, the Lakers came away with an 18-10 win. Turge, the Lakers have had a roster overhaul this year, but they'll look to continue their winning ways by hammering the Hawks.
One of the things that has been consistent, though, in between the past and the present has been the presence of Max Broadman and Gavin Elston, who had 4 goals for Broadman in that game, Elston with 5. Overall, an Oswego team that's trending in the right direction under Andrew Daly. Another on-the-road opportunity against New Paltz, a young program like you mentioned, only the first time in history between these two teams. Last season, Oswego getting the job done, but New Paltz running into a little bit of a gauntlet. They ran into losses against Geneseo and Cortland, and now they get Oswego next. So you're going through the top 3 teams, and you're going to have a very tough test against the Lakers.
Absolutely, but if there's any gauntlet that New Paltz is winning right now, it's the uniform game. Those bright orange and blue uniforms, in my opinion, best lacrosse kit in the SUNYAC.
That's bright and beautiful. But much like the women's team, the men's team will also go west next Wednesday, where they will be in action against the Alfred Saxons in non-conference play. Alfred currently undefeated on their home turf, as well as a perfect 3-0 in conference so far. So should be a good test for the Lakers against the Saxons, and it won't affect the SUNYAC standings, as they'll get a good test before going against Geneseo.
Yeah, Oswego State making a nice little trip down to the Dirty South, the western half of the southern tier here in upstate New York, and Alfred. It'll be an interesting battle for them. The Saxons, pretty strong D3 program across, really well known for football, but their lacrosse squad having a pretty good year as well. So a nice little out-of-conference test to shake things up, but it's kind of rare to see an out-of-conference matchup this late.
Not to mention middle of the week, and expect Kevin Matson to have an impact. 40 goals and 9 assists so far for the Saxons offense. But we're going to take a quick pause for the cause. When we come back, you know what time it is. Mr. T sits down to let us sell the score on Lakers Showdown. Coming up next.
Jill told me it was Kitty from Glee. Yeah, what is it?
Al Roker.
We're here for you, this is your channel. with sports and news and what to do. We're here for you. It's your TV, you're watching WTOP. Your TV, thanks for watching WTOP.
What's going on?
Yeah, dude, we go on at like 11:30. It's like
No.
What do you mean no?
It's 10:30.
10:30?
Yeah, it's 10:30.
What do you mean it's 10:30?
Hey, don't touch that. That's my ladder.
Hey, man.
Whoa. You know this book was already discounted 10%?
Wow.
Wow.
Get a close up with that one.
Matthew,
Broadcast news.
Look at that.
Can we go back inside? I want to sleep in the studio again.
Look at that! It's time for some more Laker connections and some Laker showdown. It's about that time. But before we start, I'm getting word from the control room. This is a family show, Turge. We're gonna need to put the chest hair away.
Oh my God! All right,
I mean, I just got word before break. I'm sorry. We got to keep the PG rating. I'm just told from the back. I'm just trying not to get us canceled.
Have them just read the question.
I know. I'm
Start
sorry.
the question.
All right.
Read the question while I can't button.
You're good. You're good. You don't actually have to. The women's lacrosse team is on a roll this season, and they are making some noise in the SUNY with a 4-1 record in conference. They got 4 games left. They sit in 3rd place as of now. Guys, does this team have a legitimate shot at making a deep playoff run? I'll let you guys decide who starts.
Serge, you can go first.
I'm gonna go with. Do they have what it takes? There's potential, but I'm not fully convinced yet. And the reason why I say this is they haven't really played anyone. I mean, Brockport's been a good win. You get the first win in 6 games against the Golden Eagles, but you lose to Geneseo in a game where you really weren't in that matchup. You kind of made a last resort effort. And let's not forget the elephant in the room. You haven't even touched the Red Dragons yet, so you got a big test there to wrap up the season.
I mean, that's true, but the way I look at it and the way I looked at that Brockport game is Oswego might have played themselves out of that, but if you have good goaltending, you're going to go deep in the playoff run. So I could see Oswego making a deep playoff run. Maybe they get to a chip game. Maybe they don't win a chip, but steps in the right direction. And if they're going to be riding high in the playoffs, it's going to be riding high with Sarah Kamide. She has been outstanding in that. Over 500 save percentage, really good for lacrosse. She's looked good. She's been great on the free position at limiting chances. Give me Kamide. She's a good passer as well and can start the breakout.
That was good. I'm sorry. He got you on that one. You know, the goaltending.
Well, he hammered. He just
they're also a wagon right now.
They're a wagon. He put the rhymes
Darius
in.
Rucker, wagon.
They're in the canoe right now. They're rowing along.
He rhymed it. He just went all over the place.
He's
He's just bad. It's just bad.
It happens. It's all right.
Just bad.
It's all right. But we'll go to the next one.
just bad.
We're gonna stick with lacrosse, but we're gonna go with the men's team this time.
Okay.
This team is also red hot right now, undefeated in the SUNYAC. They won 4 in a row.
They beat everything in red.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
They're kind of on a revenge tour right now. You know, they've had some down years in the SUNYAC, but who's been the MVP so far for this men's lacrosse team?
Oh, wow.
I'll let Jared start out. He won this one.
Oh,
Or won the
goodness.
last
This is a really tough one because there's a lot of players you could go with. I mean, Aiden Kenyon's had a good year. There's the obvious guys as well. Like, you know, you could go for like a Max Brodman or Gavin Elston. I'm going to go with a bit of more low-key guy. I'll go with Logan Prescott, a guy that you're not going to notice on the field as much. You know, the goal scoring is one thing, but what he leads in, ground balls. 45 ground balls. 45. I mean, those are turnovers and chances that you're winning down on the ground. Without him, they're not getting those scoring chances.
I'm going to have to go with Trey Jones, and I think he's been providing a lot of secondary offense for the Lakers. I mean, we talk about Elston, we talk about Brodman, Corey O'Connor. Liam Sexton was definitely in the running for me, but at the same time, we've seen what Liam Sexton has been able to bring to the table. Trey Jones has really been able to step up and provide that secondary offensive role for the Lakers.
I feel like we turned this into an unsung hero competition.
I know.
You guys kind of did. You guys both made some great points. I'm going to have to go with Turge on this one.
That's fair.
It was very close. It was neck and neck.
Yeah.
This one, It all comes down to this, I'll tell
goodness.
you that. We're going over the baseball field now.
Over the diamond.
Over the diamond now, as some would say. Baseball's turned things around. They got a 12-11 record, 6-3 in the conference. They brought out the broom, swept Fredonia and New Paltz on a 7-game win streak. Guys, what has been the key for this mid-season turnaround? I'll have Turge start because he won the last one.
I'm not going to lie, and Jared talked about it, and I'm going to steal it from him a little bit right now. It's the fact that the bats are going for everyone. He mentioned the batting average itself is for at least about 5 of the players that have played the required amount of games for the stat to really qualify for something, have been batting over 260. It's not just Owen Parliament. I mean, this team as a whole, the bats are connecting now. The pitching's been okay, but it's really been the batting on the other hand.
Absolutely, and I mean, look, the batting certainly has turned things around, but I think the other thing that they've been able to rely on too is that they have worked the daylights out of Kieran Finnegan, and he has not faltered. A 1.95 ERA, a 1 whip. He's allowing 1 hit or batter on base at all per inning in 37 innings of work. That is almost 20 more innings than the next pitcher, and they have just gone to him over and over and over, and he has not faltered.
You're telling me open shot, fate of the universe on the line, you want him?
Oswego Eagles wanted him, and they got him.
Bring in the Iguodala.
I want Iguodala.
I want Iguodala.
Guys, the Luker Continental title is making a return. Luke is no longer on the title. I don't know what happened.
It's so sad.
It's completely different.
It's just a name.
It makes me
But
so sad.
this is the hardest decision of my life. I'm not going to lie. I had to decide if I was going to eat Popeyes or Burger King before this.
Well, we got about 45 seconds.
But,
yeah.
Yes!
Hold it up.
We're 1 and 1.
We're back, baby!
1 and 1.
And we're back with the dub!
I thought
he won with my argument, so it's a win for me.
It's kind of like a little bit
Listen,
more team element.
Listen, I'll give you a crisp by 5. I mean, I'll give you a crisp by 5.
I'm 1.5 for 1 because I get an assist on the play.
That was a very nice. I stole your thunder. Bravo to your prep for allowing me to get this done.
You're welcome.
I'd like to thank everyone involved in that. But either way, we got a split, but we got some more Laker action to talk about next.
A few more weeks to settle the record.
But either way, that's going to do it for us this week. From everyone in the back, I'm Thomas Sturgeon with Jared Wakefield. Tommy.
Hey, Chloe, do you know what time it is?
I don't know, but it's getting kind of late. The Kind of Late Show with Chloe and Anna. Welcome back to the Kinda Late Show. The show where we talk about anything and everything going on in our lives and yours.
So for today's episode, we're going to have a special guest come later, but for right now, we have to do our recap, of course.
All right, so our recap, we're going to start with spring break. How was your spring break, Anna?
My spring break was a blast. I went to Florida with a few of my friends. We flew down, except our flight, me and my one friend flew down to Florida, and then all of our other friends drove in one car and met us down there. So we're waiting for our flight, and we're just chilling. We were there for a while because we just want to get to the airport early. And then we finally board. Everybody sits down, and then they're like, actually, everybody needs to get off the plane because we need to delay for 3 or 4 hours. And we were like, oh. Okay, cool. So we sat in the airport for a little bit, but then an hour later, they were like, LOL, JK, you can get back on the plane now.
Okay.
So that was fine. So we flew down to Florida, and then the issue was everybody that was driving down there wasn't going to get there until 11 o'clock at night, and we got there at 7:30-ish or 6 something. I don't really remember. But we were starving, and we didn't have a car because you can't rent a car until you're 25, which I think is stupid.
I don't understand why that's a thing.
Whatever.
We have a license, please.
Exactly. That's.
Focus on immature.
I hate stupid rules, but besides the point. So we didn't have a car, and there was no food in our little hotel room villa type thing yet. And we could have gone to the marketplace at the place that we were at, but I didn't think of that. So what did we do? We Instacarted.
Oh, Instacart.
A box of Kraft mac and cheese, milk, and butter because all we wanted was Kraft mac and cheese. So we Instacarted everything we needed, and then we made mac and cheese. So that was fun. Then we watched the Hunger Games because I have never seen the Hunger Games.
I just don't appreciate
so
the
I
craft.
watched the Hunger Games.
That's what
Why don't you appreciate the craft?
That's not the best mac and cheese.
It is though. It's the only one I will eat.
I like the Annie's
because I'm a
one.
picky eater, as we know.
You do.
Then everybody got there, so that was fun. I'm trying to like think of what we did. We went to Disney Springs. We went shopping.
Cute.
That was fun. We went to Top Golf. That was a lot of fun. And then we went to the beach, which was like an hour and a half away. So we had to like drive really far. And there were a bunch of tolls, which I didn't know they existed because I've never like really driven around Florida. I've only gone to like Disney and Universal.
Yeah.
But wow, there were a lot of tolls on the way to the beach. So that was a time.
That's kind of foul because you're already paying to be in Florida and then they just...
Yeah, and it was like $1.50 every like somewhat miles.
Oh.
We were just like dropping bands.
Yeah.
It was something else. It was really an experience, but it was fun. And I'm tan, so that's really all that matters.
Where were you staying?
In like a hotel in Orlando.
Oh, Orlando. Okay.
Yeah.
And then Disney was right there.
Yeah, but we didn't. We were gonna go to Disney, but then we didn't go to Disney, and then we were gonna go to Universal, and
Disney.
then we didn't go to Universal. So
We'll find more about Disney later.
but,
Anyway.
yeah. What about you, Chloe?
My break, uneventful. It was very uneventful, I will say the least. I had a lot of trouble with the bus systems, so let's set the scene. Okay. I wake up disoriented on a Saturday morning. I look at my phone, text message. Your bus has been canceled. I don't know what to do because the dorms close at 10 a.m. It is like 8:30 right now. I have to get back to the dorms and somehow unpack and find out how I'm gonna get another bus. All the buses are sold out for Saturday. So I'm like, oh my God.
She's mega stranded.
I'm stranded. I have nowhere to stay.
Getting yelled at by RAs.
Yeah, I'm getting yelled at by RAs to go get out of the room because I'm like not finished packing. Well, I was mostly finished packing. I had to get like my face washes and stuff, the things I would use in the morning to pack, and I had like nothing. And I was like, oh my God, it was me and my other suite mate there, like getting ready to leave. I'm so confused on what I'm gonna do because I don't know where to go. I got lucky because my friends at the volleyball house were like, you can stay here for the night, and I was like, you're a G. And then she was like, I'll drive you to the bus station the next day. So that was bus cancellation part 1, which was coming home. So I didn't leave until the next Sunday, and my teammate drove me to Syracuse because I was going to take a bus from Oswego to Syracuse and then take a bus from Syracuse to New York City because that's what I normally do. But then so my teammate drove me to Syracuse, and I took a bus from Syracuse to the city on Sunday morning instead. So there we go. Then I went throughout spring break. It was nice. I saw my family. I hung out with some friends. I didn't have a car, so I couldn't do anything. My family still had jobs and school, so I was pretty much alone. My best friend did not have spring break the same week, so I didn't see her at all. I saw like nobody because nobody was there. So I had like my home friends that like commute to college, and then nothing else. And I didn't have a car. I couldn't do anything, but I did see my cats and my dog. My dog was actually really nice to me for once in his life.
That's
actually,
so exciting.
He's nice to me all the time, but he's cuddly, and he's not cuddly normally. So we love him for that. And then the bus station strikes again. Okay, so
This one's funny.
Yeah, it's terrible. I go to New York City for I have like a 7 a.m. bus.
Ew.
I'm on the first bus on Sunday driving back to school. And mid-bus at like 8 a.m., I get a text again. And there was already a delay on the bus, another hour delay. And I was like, oh my God, another one. They canceled my second bus. So I went New York City to Albany and then Albany to Syracuse. So there was 2 buses, there's a little transfer. Second bus gets canceled as I'm on the first bus. I don't know what I'm doing. What am I supposed to do? All the other buses are filled. So
she texted in our group chat. She's like, I'm going to be stranded in Albany
and then
right
I
now.
left
Somebody's got to help me.
I didn't answer them, so I left them questioning, like a good friend I am.
Such
and then,
a good friend.
Yeah, I know. And then I'm in Albany, and I'm texting, or on the way to Albany, I'm texting, like, trying to figure out, like, what I'm supposed to do. There's no buses. The next bus was at, like, 8 p.m., and my parents didn't want me in Albany by myself for, like, 7 hours, 8 hours. And then the buses weren't until the next day again, other than the later one, and then the train was filled. So there was nothing I could do but be stranded in Albany. And then if I got stranded, my dad was going to come up, which is just 7 hours for him to drive. So we didn't really have much to do. But my friend is from Saratoga Springs, and I texted her, and I was like, oh my gosh, yo, pick me up. And then I stayed at her house for the night. And then I stayed in Saratoga Springs until, like, overnight with my friend. I got to see her, which was really nice. I love her. I missed her. I haven't seen her in a while. And then she drove me to the bus station the next day. And then here we are.
And then Chloe returned after not telling us what her plan was at all.
And then I'm back. So I did leave them scared. But
yeah,
that's another dilemma for another time if we ever talk about buses again. But we're gonna have event sesh because me and Anna are both going through something.
We've had a rough few days.
It's been a rough day. One day.
Well, mine was yesterday.
Mine was Monday through Wednesday. We've had trouble with something called parking tickets. These are our daily dilemmas. Anna, you go first.
So, yesterday, I was just like, having a rough morning, and I was just like, I'm really not happy today. I am gonna cheer myself up and get Kiyomi later. Now, Kiyomi's closed on Tuesdays. I forget this every time I want Kiyomi, and I always end up wanting it on a Tuesday. So let's just keep that in the back of our minds. So I'm like all excited for Kiyomi all day. And I had to go to like the Mix for something, and
the Mix, woo.
I was going with my friends, and we stopped at my one friend's house for like a few minutes because we had to drop something off. We ended up going, I pulled in her driveway, and her housemate was like, I have to go to class. And so I was like, oh, okay, so I parked on the street. Go in for a few minutes, come back out, 2 tickets on my car. One for parking on the wrong side of the street. Sorry, my bad. I don't live over here. I was there for 2 minutes. And then the other for my registration being expired because I only have my temporary up there because I don't live here. And so my mom has to mail me my new one, and she just hasn't done that yet. So thank you, Kelly, for that. And then I get back in my car after I got the tickets, I go to the Mix, and then I get back in my car, and then it wouldn't start, and it didn't start until like the 3rd time. And then my friend texted me that Kiyomi was closed, and it was just like a really rough day, and that was my day. So now I have to figure out what to do about those tickets.
So now she got 2 parking tickets and no Kiyomi.
Yeah. But I got KQ instead, so it was fine.
Oh, okay. It's fine. My parking tickets, UP has it out for me. Officer 46.
Officer 46.
Officer 46 has it out for me because I work Friday mornings at the Mix. I work at the Mix, guys.
Chloe works at the Mix.
And so I go straight from work to my first class. Otherwise, I'm going to be late. And the thing is, I have like a parking pass, but only for West Campus. West Campus is nowhere near the buildings. It would literally take longer to walk than to drive and park in I'm going to park in West Campus. So I park in the resident spot, East Campus, but it's residence. So I'm like, okay. At first I was getting employee tags for parking tickets because I was accidentally parking in the employee section. So I was like, okay, whatever. I got like 1. And then I start parking in the employee one, and then next thing you know, it's wrong area. And I'm like, what? I'm in residence. And then I realize it's East Campus. And I'm like, okay, fine. But I still have work Friday morning. So I'm like, maybe I'll test it because so many other people also do that, and they don't get tickets every time or at all. Like I know many people who have the same parking ticket, stay there for the same amount of time, and all that stuff, and they don't get tickets. So I'm like, let me do the same thing and test my luck. I lose every time. I roll the dice, snake eyes every time, because I don't get it.
We get like daily texts in our group chat from Chloe.
Chloe got
Officer 46 gave me another ticket, and I'm like, Chloe,
Yep.
stop parking there.
It's like the thing is, if I don't
Easy
park there,
fix.
I'm gonna be late to class.
But that's only Fridays that you work.
Yeah, but
all the other
sometimes I
days-
work other days, and sometimes I'm parked at 45, and I'm like, I might as well just drive to class, and then I get a ticket anyway. They know my car. They see my car, and they're like, she's here again. Ticket. And so what happened was I got one on Monday, and then I got one yesterday for parking in 45 for too long, and then I got one this morning. I got another one this morning for being parked in the wrong area because I went to go move my car because I was like, I'm just going to park here for my first class, and then because I need to move my car from 45. So I was like, let me park here for my first class, and then I'll move it again into
Chloe
a
parks
right area.
overnight in 45 often.
That's only because I try to do that for work only, and sometimes I don't. But then the ticket blows off my car, and then they give me another one. I got 2 in the same spot. So I'm emailing the people, and I'm going to go talk to them to try to appeal those things because I don't think it's fair at all.
Yeah.
Anyways.
In conclusion, Chloe and I have bad luck with parking, but I think we should move on to a more lighthearted topic, and we will get to that right after this break.
Say, President Stanley, whenever there's bad weather, who would you turn to?
I'd turn to Storm Team 10.
No,
right
but you've
here.
got to say it like this. Storm Team 10. Say it with me. Storm Team 10.
Roll it.
Jill
Should we
told me it
tell
was
him?
Kitty from Glee. Yeah, what is it?
Al Roker. Welcome back to the Kinda Late Show.
The show where we talk about anything and everything going on in our lives and yours.
Today we have a very special guest, Erin.
Erin, introduce yourself.
My name's Erin Blank. I'm a cinema and screen studies major, creative writing minor. I am a senior this year, thank goodness. And
okay, foul. It's fine.
I like photography, sports, Disney, horror movies.
You like Disney? I had no idea.
Oh my god, are you for real?
Oh, you know, I just things I just like.
Yeah. What's
people?
Oh,
Anywho,
what's a pet peeve of yours?
Pet
Do you have a pet
peeves?
peeve?
Not listening.
Oh, see, I don't listen a lot. So do you not like me? Your pet peeve is actually.
I
your
didn't
Starbucks
say
job.
that directly.
Anyway.
Guys, I actually just gaslit her to come on the show today.
She did. True story. Now that we know a little bit more about Erin, let's really get to know her with these next few questions.
Yeah, we have some fun questions. I really do hope you're scared, though. The first question is, do you think aliens exist?
Am I starting?
Well, yeah. You go first, and then we'll think the same thing.
There's definitely something out there.
I agree with that.
I don't
Like,
know if
there's
it's
definitely
directly
something going on.
aliens, but there's definitely something.
I feel like aliens is like a broad term. Like it could. I feel like it would determine like the other stuff out there.
Like I feel like definitely not like the little green guys.
No. Yeah, but I think there's
But, like,
definitely
something.
Yeah. That's what I have because you have to think about this. How big the universe is. You would think that there was nothing?
There's so much.
Seriously.
That has
You think
not
that there's
been, like,
nothing else here. We're
explored
here.
and uncovered. Ooh. It's like the ocean. The ocean freaks me out because there's so much of the ocean that we just like haven't like.
Oh, I don't like the thing about the deep ocean. I like the ocean. Just
I like
not
the ocean,
part
but
of
like
it.
once it gets like deep, I'm like, oh.
Yeah, it's a no-no.
Well, it's just like freaky to think about. But
Do you think aliens think we exist?
I wonder if they're like smart.
Do they think
like,
that?
do they have like common knowledge? Is that like a thing?
I'm sure they
Are
just
we
spy
even
on
real?
us.
It's actually just a simulation. This
They're
entire
definitely
thing.
like so much smarter than us and like watch us live our lives and they're like, you're stupid.
They watch us like a reality TV show.
Oh my god, that'd be kind of funny. But enough about aliens before I freak myself out a little bit. Next question.
So if tomatoes were a fruit, well, they are a fruit. Does that make ketchup a smoothie?
Because it's got like the sugar. But you put like sugar. Isn't there sugar in ketchup or something like that?
I don't know.
You can get it without
appreciate
sugar.
The existence
So
of
there is sugar
ketchup.
in it.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. I almost sounded stupid.
I'm a ketchup hater.
Almost was dumb. I like ketchup sometimes. I'm not a ketchup hater, but but I think you won't drink ketchup straight up. I mean, there's definitely people that do.
There definitely
There's
is. But
definitely
I feel
someone.
like ketchup, like is it blended like how smoothies are blended, or is it just?
Well, how are you making ketchup is the question. What do you like mash it until it's ketchup, or is there like?
You know, I really wish I knew. We should have Googled this.
What's the process of ketchup making?
What is that? Over break? I'm looking up how you make ketchup because now I'm curious.
Yeah, because I feel like that also determines on if it's a smoothie or not. But it's also like you wouldn't use smoothie as like a condiment.
True.
You know.
Well.
Because wouldn't that make mayo? No, because mayo is literally eggs. Because I was like, oh wait, yeah, like mash the eggs up, but eggs are just not literally a fruit.
Anyway.
It's okay. Anyway. Next question, and this is like a really opinionated one. If someone smelled terrible, would you tell them? And if so, how would you go about it?
I actually have a story about this, a really traumatic story about this, and it was really
I honestly,
I have a traumatic story as well.
I'm gonna be so straight up, and you guys can't hate me for this. I would not tell them, but I would definitely tell somebody else after.
See,
I would have been like, yo, that person was rank.
I was at this like little like 3-day conference thing with my school, and there was like a dance at the end of it, and it was at this like hotel, and our rooms were like way over here, and the place where the dance was like way over there. That's important, I promise. And we're all like dancing, having a good time in our nice little dresses, and my guy friend looks at me and goes, Anna, you might want to go grab some more deodorant. And I was like, and then I like just like left, and all of like my girlfriends that were standing there, they're like, why would you say that to her? Like, if anything, say it to one of us, and then we like that's like a girl to girl thing. Like, you don't say that. And it traumatized me, and
I would be traumatized.
And then he came to my room after, and he's like, I'm so sorry, and I was like, no. I was like, I'm
like
not doing
it was trying to be nice, but like that kind of hurts. What do you think? Would you tell somebody?
No, because my story, I did not tell the girl, but everyone, we were staying in a hotel room. The one girl smelled bad. I was sick, so I couldn't smell anything. The other two girls, they said, we can't stand the smell. So they hopped in another girl's hotel room, and I had to stay in this poor room with the girl. So then when she woke up, she's like, where'd they go? And I'm like, they went to go get breakfast.
Yeah. We just all have that one kid that you know smells, but you don't say anything. But moving on. This is making me insecure.
How would you handcuff a one-armed man?
I was talking to, when I was looking up these questions before, I was talking to Dom, and Dom Perone, bestie.
I met a man with no arms once.
Really?
He came into Dairy Queen, and I didn't know how to give him his ice cream. No. It was really weird experience.
He said to the belt. Handcuff them to the belt.
Yeah.
I feel like that makes the most sense, but I feel like it's a funny thing.
That does make sense.
What about someone with no hands? How do you handcuff someone with no hands?
Their arm.
Yeah, but you just...
I don't really know.
Yeah.
It's probably, I don't know.
Would you use zip ties at that point?
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, but what is that still like? I feel that's
but
so
if you
easy
do
to
it so tight.
It depends on like what kind of handless you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, are you like nub handless? Are you like how?
Anyway, I feel like that's enough of that one.
The last
Personally.
question. Describe the color yellow to a blind person.
I don't think I could. I genuinely don't think I would know what to say.
Like, because you'd want to say like when you close your eyes and look up at the sun, but they're not looking up at the sun.
Bright.
Like feel the warmth.
I like warm. I feel like
warm. Bright.
Yeah.
Sometimes
bright.
really ugly.
Depends on like what
Does
kind
depends
of
on the yellow.
Like is it mustard
Like,
yellow? Is it?
I'm gonna be
Don't
so honest.
Don't do stitch like that.
I would not want this color yellow as like a shirt.
Don't do stitch
But
like
it's
that.
cute. It's cute though.
How dare you?
Right.
Well, anyways.
Yeah. No, I really don't think I would know how to like explain yellow to a person who cannot see.
Right.
You know what? Well,
and is blind.
do you think maybe to like? Do you think bald people get dandruff? That's the next question.
I feel like depends on how if they take care of their scalp.
Because it's scalp like
if you get if you're
pieces,
bald and you get
flakes.
sunburn on your scalp and then your scalp.
Oh yeah,
I used to
then
get
you're-
bad dandruff when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I had to use a Head and Shoulders. I was a Head and Shoulders kid. But now I don't have dandruff, so we're chill.
I got lice a lot when I was a kid.
So did I! I got lice like 3 times. I had to stop being a softball catcher because I had lice. I told that story once.
I never had
judged
lice.
in kindergarten for having lice. You never had lice.
Knock on wood.
Really? Nah. We had the special
coming for
shampoo. We had the special shampoo in our like shower. They knew.
Yeah.
Everybody
No, me
knew.
having lice like almost 20 years ago is gonna come back right now and give you lice.
I'll give you
Just
the
hop in
sweatshirt
my
that I
hair.
wore when I was 8 and had lice, just so you
No,
can
I'm
get lice.
good.
It was actually in the cubby of another kid who had lice, and that's how I got lice.
Oh.
That's
Because there was another kid in my grade that was known for lice, and then
he was known for
he
lice.
was known for lice in 3rd
Imagine
grade.
being known for having.
Because he had like
lice.
longer
That's so
hair, and
tragic.
it was always kind of crusty. Rest in peace, brother.
That's tragic.
Sorry. But it's okay. Back to the dandruff question. Do you think that they could? But isn't like you're constantly getting
depends.
water to the...
Yeah, I mean, like it's again, like it depends on how well you take care of your bald scalp. You know.
Yeah. Scalp care.
Scalp care.
Is there something
You gotta
special for bald
moisturize.
people to get rid of scalp? Like to get rid of dandruff? Get rid of the scalp. Actually, they scalp them. Like what would be? I don't even know.
I don't know.
But anyways, we don't. That's too much thinking.
That's enough for now.
So that's enough questions. After this break, we are gonna get into a little more fun. So we'll see you then.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Shine
on that black.
Look at the bling. Look at the, do we got a diamond tester on?
Yeah, that's getting bad. Yep.
10
out of 10 recommend on Yelp.
Touchdown! Oh, did you see that? Whoa, we scored? Yeah, we scored. Going to the playoffs. I can't believe I missed that. Every time I'm buzzed, I spend too much time on my phone. What? I should take your phone away. No. I'll call for a ride. Wait, why does my face look like that?
I'm playing with these new face filters.
Okay, you know what? Yep, that's mine. I'm gonna need that back. No. Kevin!
Welcome back to the Kinda Late Show.
The show where we talk about anything and everything going on in our lives and yours.
So today we are doing a segment that we stole straight from Off the Clock.
Yeah, we're gonna take some BuzzFeed quizzes, and they're gonna be about Disney. As said before, Erin is a big Disney fan, so we'll talk a little bit about that while we take the quiz, because she did spend a whole semester working for Disney.
Yeah.
Now, but throwing back to what we were talking about right before the break, the ketchup is a smoothie. From what we saw from that short,
we watched a little video about the making of ketchup, and I feel like the answer is no, it's not.
It looked like a powder, so the fact that they had to do something to make that a powder just did not sit right with me to be a smoothie. So condimented is.
Conclusion, ketchup is not a smoothie.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming to our TED Talk on ketchup.
Yes. So the first one we're doing is, which Disney villain are you? Now, how do they handle Disney villains in, Disney?
You
there, from a working perspective.
Honestly, there's a mixed crowd. A lot of people do love villains because they talk about possibly having their own villain land.
Ooh.
And a bunch of people got so excited for it.
I would have so much fun at a villain land.
Right?
That would be so much fun.
I've already come up with so many ride ideas that I want to be Imagineers.
What's your top one that you've come up with?
Hades boat ride.
Ooh.
See,
would it be like a Pirates of the Caribbean kind
of?
vibe?
But the water would be green, the souls and all that.
That'd be cool.
And then I would think you're battling Hades in a sense, but then Hercules comes in.
Of course, as he does.
You know.
See, I like Maleficent.
Oh, you're answering.
Oh yeah, I'm answering. The first one was what's your greatest quality? And I said being manipulative.
Oh, I'm saying the
I'm
same
thinking gaslight, girl.
Gaslight, gatekeep.
Girl boss, for real. I love gaslighting.
Sinister.
What's your ideal lair?
I said a castle on top of the mountain. I feel like that's so fun. You look up and you're like, oh my gosh.
See, I was gonna say a castle deep in the woods, but I feel like I'd get freaked out by the woods too quick.
Yeah, because I think there would be something more evil than me.
Yeah, I'm
gonna get mauled by cocaine.
But I would get lonely on top of a mountain too. I'm gonna do a palace in a kingdom. I feel like that's my vibe. I get really bad FOMO. I would need to be surrounded by people. I would not be able to live on
the
top
villains
of
are having a party together, but I didn't get invited.
Oh no, what
I feel like that'd be the kind of villain I would be. It would be like Maleficent, she didn't get invited to the party, and that was her whole big issue.
That
would be
for
me.
real though. She's
I'd
getting
be seeing all the
FOMO.
villagers and same with the Grinch. Sorry, I love the Grinch, but he was just upset at the Who's for being all fun together, and he wasn't a part of it. And then at the end of the movie, not to spoil the Grinch if you haven't seen the Grinch, but they're all happy and singing together, and he's like, I want to be happy and sing with them, and then he goes and sings with them. I love the Grinch, but I feel like that would be the kind of villain I would be.
Ooh, my preferred sidekick. Oh, I want someone funny.
So much cheaper.
Oh, this is tough. We have to focus, guys.
Yeah, I keep distracting myself.
I don't know what kind of sidekick I'd want. Insane?
No.
Yo, that'd be kind of fun though.
I went with wisecracking.
I went Sly.
Yeah, you love the what's it called?
Iago, the bird from.
No, not Iago. I'm not thinking of a specific person. Comedy relief character. What is the best motivation to be evil?
Out of jealousy.
Revenge, bro. I love being petty.
Ooh, spite's a good one too.
Actually, I love being petty, Mom.
To obtain power, everybody loves a little power.
I'm not petty. Spite.
What's the best accessory a villain could have?
A cauldron.
A staff, though? You walking around with a staff?
I like the long
I don't
robes.
like the staffs because I feel like then you're just oh, I'm old, I need this to walk.
But if it's cool looking, then you got the little spice factor of it. But I think I'm gonna do crystal ball because I want to see the future.
Are you calling Maleficent old?
Kinda.
I'm doing crystal ball because that has actual
isn't she
powers.
though?
No.
Oh.
I want to
I'm
put
gonna go
curses
with the
on
cauldron,
people.
'cause I used to, like, make
Oh
little
wait, they say
potions.
spells, being able to use magic spells. I want to be a witch, bro.
You want to be a witch?
My power color, red.
Wait.
Weapon of choice.
Which one of these powers is the best?
Magic.
Hypnotize people. Get people to do what I want.
Which of these do you hate the most? True love.
I want to put curses on people.
Okay,
Sorry.
I'm so lost.
Not being included. They literally have FOMO as an answer.
There it is.
What's your weapon of choice?
I'm gonna do
Hey, you're speeding through these, Chloe. Like, Erin and I are still talking about our weapons.
because we got 2 minutes left. We need to get them our
Okay.
answers.
Hold on.
Okay.
Let me
What's
focus.
the best way to get back at your
Magic, of
enemies?
course.
Put a curse on them.
Chloe,
Emotionally
you're-
manipulate them. This is so fun. Oh my god.
What is the best way to get back at your enemies? Definitely putting a curse on
Embarrassing them.
Killing them.
Emotionally manipulating them.
Emotionally manipulating one of their loved ones.
I like that one better, honestly.
I'm just doing them because why hurt someone else when you could just hurt them instead?
Because hurting someone else hurts somebody for fun and also hurts them.
Yeah, but
Did you
sometimes
not watch
gotta
Hunger
be,
Games?
But the best kind of villains are the ones with the soft spot. Okay. Your biggest fear.
Being left out. Oh, my results are
Someone being better
calculated.
than-
So.
Oh, and I got Maleficent. Who saw that one coming?
Oh.
At least she's like cool. I
Losing your
guess.
power over others.
I'm Ursula.
I also got Ursula.
I love Ursula.
Look at us.
We do. But
We pity any poor unfortunate soul that messes with you.
ooh.
Oh.
Let's. Yeah.
Well, now that we know what villains we are, maybe we can start taking after them somehow.
Oh, that'd
But
be so much
we
fun.
are unfortunately running out of time.
We are. But thank you guys for tuning in and watching us.
Make sure you follow us on Instagram at WTOP Kinda Late, and from there you can follow us on all of our other social media platforms.
And Erin, do you have any socials you would like to plug at the moment?
Yeah, plug.
Erin Blank Photos. That's my photography account.
She takes so many amazing pictures of us. Definitely check her
She
out.
really does good, and it's always funny. Unfortunately, she can't even take photos for us today because
She
she's
was
here
busy
on
being
the
a
show.
guest.
She is busy. We almost didn't have her today, but I'm so
But
happy
we
that
did,
you
and
showed
that's all
up.
that matters.
Yep.
With all of her Disney apparel and trinkets.
Yeah, look how
Yes.
cute.
But make sure you tune in every other Wednesday at 9:30 for more of
The Kinda Late Show. I hope you enjoy.
Can you believe it? It's finally here.
I know, the hour-long The Break season finale. Let's go! Woo! Tonight, it's the fall finale. We're taking a look back at all the fun we've had all semester. And Justin Dickerson is here to tell us all about Sophie, and he's showing off his cooking skills. Plus, we'll learn what our crew really thinks about us right now.
From the Al Roker Studio and the Murano Campus Center, this is The Break with Scott Brubaker and Kate Donahue. It all starts in 3, 2, 1.
Oh shoot, Kate, even the last episode I forget to get your chair for you. I know, but it's still polite of me. Okay.
Thanks, Scott.
Guys, so welcome to the season finale of The Break. We're actually doing something new this episode. We have like almost nothing in the prompter.
Yeah, we're
actually that's a lie.
LARPing. We're LARPing.
At the beginning of the show, we have nothing in the prompter. Then it gets really scripted. Let's start real fast before we do a weekend recap. We have Christmas gifts for each other.
Oh.
Can I pull them out? So I got you your favorite candy, pretzel M&Ms, and a little card.
I got Scott a Minion mug.
It's cute.
And some gum.
Also, if Jill wouldn't mind, can you say something in my ear? Because I don't know if I can hear you or not. Okay, perfect. I know there's a lot in the show. You can read that later.
I will.
So we can recap. How was your weekend, real fast?
My weekend was great. How about you?
It was great. I went skiing. We'll talk about that a little bit later.
Heard.
But we're gonna start out by talking about the holidays. Scott, replay. Oh no, we're gonna talk about the holidays first. I'm just ignoring what's in the prompter.
Okay.
So it's the holiday season. What is your favorite part of the holiday season?
Well, my favorite part is
orange
okay. I
juice.
really like Thanksgiving because it sets off like the best part of the year. You know, Christmas, New Year's,
Yeah, I don't know. I just get excited.
I love Christmas. I'm that November 1st, Christmas music starts playing. If you wouldn't mind, Kate, can you show everybody your shoes?
Oh, right. Scott made me wear them. I'm gonna like sweat up a storm in them.
It's gonna be great. I got my little Santa hat on.
He's gonna go, phew, when he smells them.
Yeah,
after.
never gonna want to wear them afterwards. I don't know what Jill's saying in my ear. What?
Oh man.
It's okay. It's okay. No. What's your second favorite holiday? I guess we'll go real fast.
Halloween. How about you?
I love Halloween.
Yeah.
Our birthdays are right by Halloween.
That's
I feel
true.
like that's a big
October babies.
big reason. So let's move on. Everybody knows that at the end of the year, Apple Music and Spotify, they do the Spotify Wrap and the Apple Music Replay. So we're gonna see what our top music and artists were, if they want to put it up into the screen. I don't know who's gonna go first. Kate, take it away.
First. Okay. So my first top artist was Steve Lacy. My second was Kanye West. Don't hate me. I'm sorry. I apologize. My third is Taylor Swift. Fourth is Harry Styles, and then fifth is Kings of Leon.
Real fast, just what's your first song?
My first. Okay, it's Bad Habit. I'm sorry.
Okay, we have a lot in the show. So
Yeah.
mine now, who would have guessed that my number one artist was Glee Cast? Surprise, surprise. Number two is AJR, then Dua Lipa, then Lizzo, then Harry Styles. You could also see the time. I listened to 5,000 some minutes of Glee.
Truth.
That's crazy.
I believe it though. You know.
So on top of music, we thought it'd be fun to give you our highs and lows of the semester. So we'll start with you, Kate.
Okay, so my low was last week. This is the most stressful finals week I've ever experienced. I mean, I haven't been here long. So, I was crying. It was so hard. I had 5 essays due in 1 week. So yeah, but my high, I don't know, I just get excited to come here. I'm not kissing up to Scott or anything, but I love being on the break. It's kind of fun,
I know, I totally just hurt the control room. My lows, I remember, so the day of the media summit it was so much fun. It was a good day. It was the day after my birthday too. I was so stressed out. That night, I just looked like I was dead in my bedroom. That probably had to be my low. Also, when I got COVID, that was another low too.
That's true.
My high is definitely when I come here as well, because I enjoy doing everything here, with you, with news, just with everything else. All right, so moving on, we have a couple of videos that we took over the weekend that are just the past couple of days that just really show what's going on here in Oswego. So if we want to roll Kate's video first. The nuclear power plant sounding its alarm.
Well, yeah, I was just scared. It was right across the street from my apartment, and I was I believe in aliens, so I don't know.
Our audience is laughing over there. All right, real quick for mine, this was actually this morning. Want to take a look at it? It was so much fun. It actually really made my day because, as mentioned, I love the Christmas season. All right, now it's time for our favorite segment, How Real Are We? Take it away, Kate.
Okay, so I go first this week. So my slacking Be Real is the first one. I just woke up and I was let me take my Be Real because I fall asleep at 10 o'clock and it caught me blinking. So I was just waking up and blinking. And then my favorite Be Real, this was me at Thanksgiving. That's my mum. She's watching, so hey mum. And yeah, my mom's there too, so yeah.
You look like you had a really good Thanksgiving. I don't know, I love that picture.
I just love my mum.
It's so sweet. I also love how many times both of us Be Real gets us when we first wake up. So here's mine. My slack and Be Real is we had a little class presentation and the people brought in chopped clams. Don't ask me why, but I just thought it was funny. So that had to be my slacking Be Real. I joked and said I was gonna eat them, but absolutely not. I do not like seafood. It's disgusting. So for my favorite Be Real now,
We took it. Jill's saying stuff in my ear. I cannot get over her. When I was at Killington over the weekend, I went on a little ski trip. That's my friend Tristan, who you've seen on the show before. My friend Eliza, who you've also seen on this show before. Then my friend Kayla's kind of over in the back. I didn't really get her in the picture. I'm sorry, Kayla. Don't come at me. But I really enjoyed Killington.
I believe it. I mean, I've never been to Vermont, right?
Yeah.
So I want to visit there, you know.
Do you ski? Snowboard?
No.
We should go sometimes. That'd be
well,
fun.
you can teach me.
Okay. Should we move on to the news?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. All right. In case you missed it, Jonathan the Tortoise celebrated his birthday this week. He was born all the way back in the 1800s, and he is 190 years old. Can you believe that, Scott?
I think that's crazy. Jonathan lives in St. Helena right now, and the whole community came together to celebrate him. They fed him a whole veggie buffet and even wrote a song about his life.
I wish I could hear it.
I know, right? We
Yeah.
don't have access to it. If I live to be 190, I hope they write a song about me.
I would sing it.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're
oh my
welcome.
Gosh. We'll get those carolers to come sing the song.
True.
That'd be amazing. I would love that. All right. So after the Galapagos received an increase of feral cats, I didn't really read this before. The penguin population began to suffer.
Yeah. Oh, but guess what, everyone? There is good news about the Galapagos penguin population. National Geographic seems to be taking good steps in their conservation efforts.
Yes, they are. So there were 120 penguin nests dwellings found in the Galapagos Islands. Scientists talked about how the penguins are using these dwellings to lay eggs